Your hair looks good because the purple's like almost completely gone.
Yeah, I've been lazy because we even have like another bottle to do it again, but I just don't ever think about doing it.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is your hair getting gray
What
up
do you?
top there?
My hair's
In
been
the part,
my hair's been gray.
it
Like,
has been gray?
yeah, I've got gray on my temples.
Oh, look at you,
See? Can you see
debonair.
it?
Yeah, you're debonair.
And I have gray in my beard, obviously
Yeah,
too.
well, sure, sure. And you know what? I was looking at some older videos of you, and your beard is not that color. And your mustache, dear Lord, look at you go. You're turning into quite a stately old man, an
Yeah,
old
like
gentleman.
honestly, like I look at old videos of myself and I like how my hair and beard look better now. And old videos where I don't wear glasses, I feel like I look weird now.
Right. I'm not even going to take my glasses off to show you.
Yeah. I
Because you
feel
go, whoa, you turn it off.
I feel like everything in my life has been an evolution of covering up more of my face, and then I like it more the more that I cover it up. So like first it was growing my hair long, which kind of
Sure.
did something for the shape, and then it was growing
Yeah.
the beard out, and now the glasses, and
Right.
I'm like, this is great. Next, I'm just gonna wear a ski mask
Oh, yeah.
all
You
the
should get a
time,
burqa.
or that, yeah.
A job.
Or
Can
just,
men wear those?
or just I don't know. I'm just gonna get one of those like ninja costume covers. What do they call those?
Perfect. I think that you and I should do those. Oh, yeah. What? I'm sure they have a name for that. It's not called costume.
Well, it's a-
The ninjas don't call it a costume.
No,
right?
because you know, like the karate robe, they call it a gi.
A gi.
But what do they call the ninja outfit?
Boy, how would we figure that out?
Oh, technology. Hold on, I'm gonna find out
Where
right
would
now.
we get
Hold
that
on.
information? Where
What
would we
do
get that
they
information?
call the ninja outfit?
Are you talking or typing?
I'm talking because I'm old and I don't type very well. The iconic masked outfit traditionally worn by ninjas is called a shinobi shakuzu.
Whoa, that's a great word. We should have known that a long time ago.
In Japanese, shinobi is another name for ninja, and shakuzu translates to clothing or costume. Oh, okay. So
it is a
Just a
costume.
ninja outfit is what it is.
No, but you
Sh-
literally called it a ninja costume earlier,
Yeah.
and they're literally calling it a ninja costume. Oh my God, I thought there was no way.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It's called
Shinobi
a
Shakuzu.
ninja
That's
costume.
got to be the
Shinobi.
beginning of the episode because everybody learned something.
Sure, Shinobi.
I also like that it's Shinobi Shakuzu, and then my introduction to the world of the ninja was through an actor named Shokuzi in the
right.
80s.
Yes, and the second porn movie I ever saw was called Show Koozie.
Ah,
Sorry
was
about that, Japan.
great.
Sorry, Japan.
that
Sorry,
was
Japan.
great.
Yeah, right. We were discussing whether or not there could be comedy without racism.
But of course. What do you mean?
Okay, but no, but I mean, aren't jokes are made? I'm sure jokes are made at the expense of Americans and other countries, and I would probably laugh really hard,
Oh yeah, that's
really hard at them. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But is that racist? I didn't mean to say racism. I guess that's
It's all in the context and the intent. It's just I feel like Americans in general should
Yes.
be the butt of jokes,
Sure, we should.
and I will laugh at most of them.
Gonna laugh, gonna laugh, gonna laugh, gonna laugh.
Some of them hit too close to home.
Oh, I know. And then I have to change and stuff, which is fine. I like to change, really.
Speaking of white Americans, we are going to talk about two very white movies.
Oh my God, they were white as fuck. Well, mine's a little less white than yours because there's a red dude in it.
Oh, there is. Yeah, there is a red dude.
And Blix
The only non-white dude they would allow in the movie is the devil.
is the devil. Well, Blix is black. And
Was he?
and then that guy, not Screw, I'm trying to remember the name of the three demons.
I don't know anyone's.
But when they took his helmet off, he was kind of gold.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well, so, but
Anything
whatever.
to keep an actual brown person from being in the
Person out. Well, and I like the fact that that one guy's name was Brown Tom.
movie. Yeah.
So
There you go. They took care of it right there. That's a little tidbit from the movie Legend, which is the movie that Smirl asked me to watch for this episode. And
I
then
made you.
you asked me.
No, I did. I asked. I wasn't commanding or.
You didn't make me watch it.
Oh, we're jumping into this? Yeah, because we talked about Fudge Tunnel first, so we got to talk about
Well,
we got to talk
I was
about
just doing
Legend.
a little intro. The movie that I recommended to Smurl is Clerks, which
Clerks.
I'm pretty sure he's seen before this anyway. Even though he
Yes.
swears up and down that he saw the original cut of the movie that was only shown twice.
I'm trying to call the theater. It's at Liberty Hall. Anyway, we'll get into it. But yeah, hi, this is Summum Bonum, and we are
yeah.
talking. We're talking about movies this month,
Yeah.
and that would be, of course, the infamous Clerks and the not so adored Legend. It's got a cult following. It's got a cult following. It's got a cult following.
It's more than a cult following these days because it's one of those things where you know that there's that app Letterboxd where people put
No, what's that?
There's an app called Letterboxd, and Letterboxd is like a movies app, and it's like
okay.
everybody goes in and you can keep track of what you watch, but also you can write your own reviews and there's ratings, and it's a very big app. Like it's right now probably the biggest like movies app there is. And I started using it just to keep track of the movies I'm watching.
So instead of writing them down in a notebook
I don't have a notebook, so yeah.
or a diary, instead of having a diary, that's what people used to do. But
No.
now you can write it down on this thing.
I'm one of those people. Like I see posts all the time where people are like, you don't need an app for everything, and I'm the opposite of that. Where if somebody wants me to use a service and sends me to a website or wants me to write something down, I'm all like, get back to me when you have your app.
Oh, okay, when you got your app, get back to me when you got an app, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Anyway,
okay.
so but on that, you have to go really far down before it isn't praise about Legend.
Before it isn't praise.
Isn't praise? Yeah.
Oh, okay, 'cause
Tons of people
Okay.
nowadays really like that movie.
Okay, what year did this movie come out? 86,
86,
85,
19
86.
Well, it came out at the end of 85.
So,
And
and
then-
you have the VHS.
I have the VHS Legend.
Oh, fantastic.
There you go. Look at
I
that.
have the DVD Legend.
Oh, my cover's way better than yours. What is that? fucking
Well,
bullshit?
it is the same because this is clear.
Oh,
And then you have that cover again. There's a little bubble here.
but do you have that great picture of Tom Cruise on the
Oh,
back?
that is a great picture. I
do you
not
know the
have
best
that.
part
I
about
have,
this picture?
I have this great picture of Tom Cruise and
that's close.
Mia Sarah.
I was going to say
Okay,
the best
keep going,
part about
keep
this
going.
picture is that after you watch the movie, you know that he's not wearing pants.
He's not wearing pants. Oh my God, there's so much crotch shot of him in this thing.
Yes.
His nuts are almost in the movie as much as his face.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. His face and his nuts are generally
Yeah.
in the movie at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but watch this though. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh, it's
There
it's
it
a
is.
booklet.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
sorry about
wow.
that. I have this thing, which is the DVD release card.
Is
here
the version you have, is that the theatrical version or is it the director's cut?
Okay, homie. I thought for the entire time we owned this that it was just the theatrical version, but as it turns out, the director's cut is in here, and I've never seen it.
Yeah, I read a little bit about the movie, and it's that version, the director's cut on there, is like I think supposed to be about 25 minutes longer.
Yes, I can't wait.
Whereas the original cut of the movie was over 2 hours, but some of that footage got lost.
Yes,
So they aren't
yes,
able to
yes,
restore that.
Yes, yeah.
But
yeah.
so are we starting with Legend? I guess we'll start with Legend. So this is the movie that you suggested for me, and
Yes, please.
I know this was partially spurred on by me doing 40 years ago this month and saying that I'd never seen Legend.
Yes.
But aside from that, I would like to know why you recommended this movie and what was your history with the movie.
Okay. There's an like many people, I have veins of things that occur in me simultaneously, and so this timeline of like watching Legend was because in my the story is, and I can't really ask him now because he's dead, but the story is that my dad's older brother, George, who lived in Chicago because he worked for Amtrak, was a guy who went to bars and he would drink and he lived downtown. He lived in an apartment downtown. This was years ago. So, of course, you could do that and work for Amtrak. And it was kind of a working class neighborhood thing. And I would come to visit it and whatever. Anyway, the deal was he was drinking with this guy at a bar who gave him this box. And in the box, was a little booklet and a couple little booklets and some dice and stuff. And he gave it to my uncle and said, because my uncle had mentioned that he had a nephew that was, however the conversation got to. And he said, here, bring this, give this to your nephew and see if he likes it. And what it turns out in the story is that my uncle was talking to Gary Gygax, who apparently was in Chicago. I don't know. And Gary Gygax is the creator of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So apparently I received a prototype box with the first player's handbook and the first dungeon, et cetera, of from my uncle. And I got into Pika. And so I take it to my friends and we start playing. And it was
and how old are you at this point? You're a kid?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm, dude, I want to say I'm in sixth grade, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe even younger.
Okay.
I mean, really, maybe even younger, because we were still having slumber parties.
10, 11, 12 years old, something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
something
younger.
like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I will check with my best friend since third grade, Kirk, and I'll ask him, and he'll know because he's the keeper of all the things, dates and stuff.
Got it.
So, anyway, I love Dungeons and Dragons. We all love Dungeons and Dragons, and we played it all the time.
Wasn't there a Dungeons and Dragons movie in the 80s or something like that?
Was it in the 80s? I don't know. There was one in the 19. Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe I'm thinking of Dragon Slayer.
Well, okay, so here you go.
Okay.
You've now
which I also don't really think I've seen.
Oh, so all of them: Excalibur, Dragon Slayer, Dragon Heart, Lady Hawk, any of that fantasy, all the Conan movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say Conan.
Yeah, all the Conan movies. Beastmaster.
No, I did see Beastmaster. Beastmaster
Right.
was a one I liked when I was a kid.
Yes, Sword and the Sorcerer. The original Hobbit.
Cartoon one?
Hobbit cartoon, which led us to Wizards. So we were Holy Grail, you know what I mean? Monty Python's Holy Grail. So like all that sword and sorcery stuff, we enjoyed as kids, and I followed it into adulthood, and of course, so when Legend comes out, I think Alien had already come out, so. He had already directed that.
Not only had Alien already come out, Blade Runner had already come out.
Yeah, Blade Runner. Yes, exactly. Okay, sorry. So I liked both those movies. I knew it was a Ridley Scott flick, and so I went to go see the thing. And
so you would have been 18 when this movie came out.
17 or 18, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
in your late teens.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, but I still saw this type of movie because I still enjoyed science fiction, fantasy, et cetera, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I probably did not go with my other punk rock friends, but at the time, but it doesn't matter. I went to see the movie and I really enjoyed it. Now, I grew up in the era of when Rocky Horror Picture Show was like shit. Right. Like I was a little too young to I had to wait, and then it was all over in the culture and people were talking about it.
Well, that happened again in the 90s because
that movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it literally had its big boom in the 80s and then had another boom in the 90s. So yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember if I like snuck into it or like was able to buy tickets from another kid at the box office who didn't really check my ID or whatever. It was a midnight movie. We were probably supposed to not be out. We probably rode to the theater on our bikes. But anyway, we went in to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was a big deal. Of course, the entire subject matter was sexual. I'm trying to figure out what all that stuff is. And then you've got this. I know you've seen the movie, so you know what's talking about.
I've
and
seen
of course,
that movie,
one of the largest facets of that movie, of course, is Tim Curry.
Yes.
I mean, who is fucking awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
And so when be
fair, that movie is massively less memorable if he's not in it.
Oh, yeah. No. Yes, of course. I totally agree. Oh, I mean, I can't even think of it without him in it.
It's still got like fun songs and like it's got Susan Sarandon and I don't know.
Mhm.
It's a fun movie, but he is
Yeah.
like the selling point I feel for that movie.
Yes. I mean, whatever, the whole thing. So now he's in this movie by Ridley Scott, and it had been talked about, and so I'm like, I'm in. I gotta
Yeah,
go. I gotta go. I gotta go see
yeah.
this thing. And I don't. I think like I mean, obviously, I'd seen Risky Business, so I knew who Tom Cruise was, but I don't think at that point he was huge.
He was not. No, Risky
He,
Business wasn't even like a super successful movie. It was just.
yeah, it just had boobs in it.
I think it gained more popularity on like on HBO or whatever.
Yeah, because they had sex on a train and sex on the stairs and sex. There was a lot of sex in that movie.
Which
Correct?
the funny thing about that movie is when I was a kid, that's all I knew about the movie because I didn't
Right,
understand the rest of the movie, and
right,
I watched
right,
it as an
right,
adult, and I was like,
right.
this movie's actually really funny. I didn't
No, yeah,
realize
yeah,
that it
totally.
was
Yeah,
a
right,
really
right.
funny movie.
Right, yeah, not just a reason. What was her name? Rebecca De
Rose.
Mornay. What
Oh,
was
that
it?
wasn't Roseanne
No.
Arquette. That was Rebecca De Mornay. Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, Rebecca. Yeah. Oh man, it's
Rebecca
weird
De
to be.
Mornay.
Yeah, that's what she made me. Raboner
I
de
wasn't.
Honer, if you know
You
what
know
I'm
me.
saying.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
right, yeah.
attracted to Rebecca De Mornay, so it was.
Oh, anyway, well, I was been girl crazy for a long time. So,
Well, I know, but I mean, I was too. But she wasn't. Even when I was a kid, that was not my type. I
dude,
was.
you had a type. Female was my type.
Yeah,
when
no, I didn't.
Like I was like, what?
Yeah,
You smell good.
I had types from as young as I can remember.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
clearly could see one type of woman and go,
Okay.
okay, but I think it was probably because there was this archetype of like the movie starlet, and I was always like,
Sure.
they're not
Sure.
very attractive. What? Why are they always paraded about like they're special?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
But whatever. That's just me. I'm
It's a good
weird.
question.
I'm weird.
So yeah, it's okay. Well, no, it's fine. Actually, you were probably enlightened as far as this was concerned. It took me a long time to hone down my preferences, but a lot of that was just meeting people who were cool and then adding what they had to my preference list. So there was that. But
Well, you're welcome.
okay.
All right.
Now I like beards, glasses, and long hair. It's weird. I don't know. It's super weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I saw this movie and I loved the movie. It was problematic, and from the beginning, it seems rough. It doesn't seem edited correctly. There are things that aren't in a timeline. But it was there's like glitter everywhere and chicken feathers. Looks like pods, milkweed pods, and that whole forest stuff that they made was fantastic. And there's all these little creatures and fairies and brownies and goblins and elves and stuff. And it was completely in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, the that pouty, pained giant devil man
Yeah.
was just like his whole thing. Mother Night,
Yeah.
wrap me in your arms. You just go, yeah, dude, and those fucking horns coming out of his
Yeah,
head look
yeah.
so painful, and his whole fucking face. And I was like, totally, this guy is like the biggest it's literally Dr. Frankenfurter playing the devil, and it was perfect, and I loved it. So anyway, that's what happened. But the big reason that's still around in my life, and I'll try to make this as short as possible. When I met Jessica, when I re-met Jessica, when she was single and I was single, since we were in the same groups as dating other people, we were at a party. We had a lovely talk, and really, like, it really was like boing happening, like bah. And I had to leave this party. It was for another person's birthday party, and I had to leave because I had to work early the next morning. But they were gonna stay up and watch a movie at the end of this party, and they were gonna watch Dark Crystal. And I was like, oh damn, I really love that movie. Oh yeah, that's another one, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth.
Yeah. Which
Those
which
are
Dark Crystal
Never
is
Ending
one.
Story.
No.
Never Ending Story. That
Never
one's
Ending,
also-
Never Ending Story is a weird. I think I mentioned this before. It was a movie that was aimed at children, and I saw it when I was a child. And I remember,
Right.
I remember clearly as like a 7-year-old going, "Fuck this movie!" Like
Really?
I thought
Okay.
it was so bad that
Okay.
I never
Okay.
watched it
Well,
again.
No, I mean it's an acquired taste. It really, really is. In fact, the guy that plays the guy in the helmet that gets taken to hell and goes to the dungeon, he is in that movie.
Oh, okay.
He rides a snail. He's the guy who rides the
I
snail, the
don't. Yeah,
speedy
yeah.
snail.
But
Okay.
and Dark Crystal is one that I saw. I haven't seen since I was a kid, but I remember really liking that movie. That's an opposite thing for me.
Yeah. So and Labyrinth is another big one. And
Which
did I
I
say
which I
Excalibur?
still love Labyrinth.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh my God, I love that movie. I can't stay and watch it. I got to wake up early and work." Everyone was getting in their movie positions, and the TV was coming on. I'm like, "Oh, and I would love to see Legend too." And then Jessica says, "Oh my God, I have that movie on DVD." And I was like, and she goes, "But I don't have a DVD player." And I said, "But I have a DVD player." And she said, "Oh, okay, I'll lend it to you sometime." And then I looked at her and she goes, "Or I could come over and watch it."
So
And I
this is
said, and I
yeah.
said, "Okay." And so
Yeah.
we exchanged phone numbers. And then she waited 48 hours to call me, in which I was climbing the walls.
Yeah.
I was just out of my
Yeah.
skin. So she calls and she came over. And we took my dog for a walk and we went and got ice cream. It was a beautiful night. We were hanging out. We got back to my place. We go upstairs, da da da. We're hanging out. Are you comfortable? Da da. We put the movie in or whatever. And I have never in my life been cool ever. I'm going to say I make mistakes constantly and wish I would have either not said anything or said something different or not said the thing. Yeah, not said the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go to start the movie with the remote control or whatever. And I turned to her and I said, "You can kiss me anytime you want."
That actually
And
is pretty cool.
okay. And she goes, "I'll let you know." And I said, "Cool." So I started the movie and I think we made it just a couple of scenes before, and then the movie is paused and the rest is history.
Oh,
22
you
years
actually
later.
paused the movie.
Yeah, we paused the movie.
That's
It
a
was like, whoa. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If there'd been no remote control, we probably would have just. Anyway, that was the start of a lovely relationship for which I adore. And Legend, it's like seriously, it's Legend. It's in the canon.
It's in multiple memories of your life.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. So there we go. That's
so
it.
I have to confirm though. After watching the movie, I know that I've never seen any part of this movie aside from maybe a trailer.
Okay.
Because the only image from the movie that I remembered is literally from the back of the box where the girl is touching the unicorn.
No, yeah, which is my favorite scene.
That's like
It's like my favorite scene. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Right.
Here's my experience.
Okay.
So you'd mentioned the movie, so I went and found myself like I have to admit, like I'm very particular about VHS tapes
Okay.
to the point where if it's like a later release of this, like from the 90s, and it has that thing at the top that says like MGM Classics or some shit, I don't want that.
Okay,
that
right.
box
Okay.
looks fucking ugly. I want
Okay.
the 80s box
80s version.
of
Okay.
the thing.
Perfect.
So I got one, fairly inexpensive,
Okay.
in pretty good shape.
Okay.
And then I started to read a little bit about the movie, and I already knew it was a Ridley Scott movie. I've liked most Ridley Scott movies I've seen, not all of them. G.I. Jane is really bad.
Okay. I never saw it.
My wife, we bought it on VHS, and my wife had me watch it, and I was just like, "Wow!"
Does she like it?
Yeah, she likes it, but I think
Demi Moore, right?
I think
Demi
she
Moore?
has the same issues with it that I do. She just enjoys it, and I was like, "It was enjoyable," but
Okay.
it's anyway.
It has issues.
It's yeah.
Okay.
And Demi Moore's not the issue with the movie, by the way. She's fine. She's good. But so I like Ridley Scott, especially Aliens and Blade Runner, or Alien and Blade Runner.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Both to me, fantastic movies. So I'm like, okay, I like him as a director. I enjoy pretty much everything I've ever seen Tom Cruise in, and
Okay.
I'd never seen this movie.
Okay.
Mia Sara, she was in Ferris Bueller. I like Ferris Bueller. I was
Bueller's
like,
great.
okay. And then I looked at the back of the box and I went, Tangerine Dream did the fucking music?
In America. Yeah. Yeah.
So that immediately made me think, okay, I feel like this movie is going to have vibes that I can like get into. And it almost
Oh, all right.
has
almost.
vibes that I can get
Right.
into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So everything you said is correct. It is poorly edited.
Yeah.
Some of the ADR dialogue is really bad. Do you know
ADR.
ADR is automated dialogue replacement, which a lot of movies use when the sound in the movie isn't very good, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
actors will go in a vocal booth after the movie and
Yes.
redo their lines. And there's
They had
so
to.
many of them in this, and
No,
it's
they had to. The entire set that they built that on was full of actual birds and none of the audio that they took from the
and some of it burned down. I read too during the making of
yes,
the movie.
yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
but that's very 80s. I don't like that doesn't bother me, and I'm just like, and so the movie started, and like I kind of knew what the aesthetic was going to be once it started, and I went, okay, this is fairy tale land, and it's very like
Literally.
it's very
Literally.
colorful, and there's a lot of trees, and there's
Woodland animals.
there's the main character, the woman is incredibly
Lily.
poorly written, but that's just like a Disney.
She's a
cartoon.
princess.
Yeah. So I'm watching the movie and I'm just like, okay, this is interesting because it's the whole idea of something so pure and beautiful existing, and that's the unicorns or whatever, and then you've got the darkness, which is the devil and all that stuff, and I don't really even understand what their plan was because they didn't put the unicorns there. How did they know the girl was going to go? That doesn't make any sense how they knew the girl was going to go and touch the unicorn. But
Well, they didn't know the girl was going to touch the unicorn.
but at the beginning of the movie, he's talking like he has some sort of plan. I have a plan.
He want totally. And again, I watched all these deleted scenes that I didn't know that I had on my DVD or whatever. And in the deleted scenes, the goblins actually find this hair in the forest and they bring it back to the guy and he goes, I know what that's from. I want that.
Okay.
Instead, when the new edit came in, what they did is they made it a light and dark battle or whatever, and so basically Blix is summoned to talk to Darkness, and Darkness says that he's tired of of the sun, and he wants there to be nothing but night and darkness because then that way his powers can be full time all the time because he can't do anything during the daytime because of course sun destroys him. So he says I want this creature. Tell me, what does this creature look like? Oh, great one, that kind of thing. And then he says, got a horn, boom, and he hits him in the head with that thing. And so he knows that he needs to go get this horn, so he knows what the creature looks like.
Okay.
So then he says, well, how do I find it? What trap? And he says, innocence, right? Innocence.
Yeah, but how did they set that trap?
So they go to look for the unicorns, and they
just so happened to get there at the exact time that Tom Cruise is showing the girl the unicorn.
There's a allusion to the fact that they know about her because she's scared in the forest that one time or whatever. So they're constantly stalking her.
Okay.
So they're using her. They've clued onto her innocence and they're going to follow her. And it just turns out that her boyfriend ends up taking her to them, and of course, plot. You got to move the plot along.
Yeah.
So that's how that.
And that didn't really bother me. I was like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just get the story. Get the story
Sure.
going.
Get it going. Get it rolling.
I honestly like it when there's way less exposition, and if something's not explained and they just move into the story, I'm like, cool. Keep it moving.
Okay. Right.
So
Right.
The first thing is like I was watching this movie and I was like, fuck that girl. What a dumb bitch. That it's just
Really?
like he's literally like, you trust me. Don't go over there and touch them. She's like, I'm just gonna go anyway because I'm a frolicking princess. And I was like, what? Let that girl fucking die. She's horrible for doing that. She's that big of an idiot that the guy she cares about says don't. And she's
why did he leave instead of yell at her and bring her back? That's the thing that I don't understand.
He's like, I can't control these bitches. I can't. I'm just a weird. I don't even know what he is. He's like, he's a
forest child.
Oh, He's a forest child.
He's a
Anyway,
forest child. He's a
okay.
forest child.
So
Jack is a forest child. Be
so-
ye not a forest child?
so
Right, okay.
this whole thing is happening and this buildup is happening, and I'm just like, okay, this is the catalyst. This is the thing that's going to get the story going. And I wasn't. I was at the point where I was kind of like, okay, I see where this movie is going. That at this point, I already realized that Tangerine Dream's talents were completely wasted on this movie because
That's
the
a
music.
great little melody though that they play in there.
But it's
That
too
main
much of
melody
that.
is awesome.
The fucking Karate Kid flute thing. There's too much of that in this movie.
Flutes, of course.
but,
Flutes. Right. It
but-
triggered you.
But there's not enough. I was wanting it to be like 80s synth, like the unicorn
no,
shows up and it's like, like I wanted it to be like that kind of
No,
shit,
that-
and it wasn't.
Well, they had to make them sound like whales.
Whatever. Anyway,
That was awesome.
So-
You didn't like that? That the unicorns sang like whales.
No, I don't. I didn't catch that. That's
You
not-
didn't catch that? They came they came running down that.
That's what
creek
whales
or
sound
whatever.
like?
Yeah, they were singing like whales or
Okay,
whatever. And
I
I
don't
thought, what a fucking awesome thing to
I
make
don't know.
unicorns sing like. Okay.
So already, like the unicorn thing is like it's flashbacks to like every bad movie I ever watched when I was a kid. I'm just like, why?
Every bad movie had unicorns.
Not every bad movie, but there was a weird obsession with unicorns in the 80s.
There was.
Yes.
Okay.
For children's
Can you
stuff.
please list another few things that have unicorns? Just please. I'm just asking.
The first one that comes to mind is The Last Unicorn, which is an animated
Oh
movie
yeah,
from the
no,
kid.
that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely a big one. Okay, got it.
I don't know. There's other movies. If
Okay,
I could-
well, that was a
I
big
could-
one. So
I
that's
could-
a big one. That's
I
a
could
good one.
look it up, but
Okay.
but I was like, hey, it's a fantasy movie. There's got to be unicorns, and I'll allow the unicorns.
Good.
Where
They
I
were beautiful.
where I put my foot down, and the thing that keeps me from watching and liking so many fantasy movies
Okay.
is they always have to have funny little people in them. They're never
Funny little people.
They're never all the goblin creatures who
Okay, the
all
woodland
of them
creatures.
were stupid and like everything was like, look at my butt, like that was like, and it there's no
Look
like
at my butt.
there was so many butt jokes, but with the goblins, and
The
here's the
goblins
thing.
are with the brownies, the fairies, and the
What
elves.
all the things that have the fucking prosthetic makeup. By the way, prosthetic makeup in this movie is fucking great. Everything looks
No,
really
it's
good.
so good. Yeah,
My
no, it's
problem was it's always got to be these really annoying characters. I'm all like, why couldn't they be like wise troll looking guys? Why do they always have to be fucking goofballs that just have
Willow.
obnoxious voices and do obnoxious things? And I'm just like, because then it becomes a kids movie. At that point, it's a children's movie, and I'm
Well,
just
it's like a Grimm's. It's definitely Grimm's.
in Grimm's fairy tales there were not like bumbling gnomes.
No, but like think about that book that Labyrinth was even based on. The goblins all look like little babies. There's this.
Yeah,
There's this.
yeah.
There's this. I get what you're saying, and you are absolutely correct. That is absolutely a thing that is absolutely happening in the majority of all that stuff. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not saying anything about.
I just wanted them to shut up and go
Yeah.
away because I was all like, can we make this movie about light versus dark, not like look at these cute characters that the kids are going to laugh at? So I get turned off by that kind of stuff,
Okay.
hoping that they would just be in part of the movie and go away, and they didn't. They were in the whole movie.
The goblins.
Yeah, I was
Well, Blix was awesome.
I
You
was
didn't like
so
Blix?
I don't know who was who. They were all obnoxious, and so
There was the one who looked like a pig. There was the one with the big helmet on that had smoke come out of his. And I forgot his name. And then there was Blix, and Blix was the major one.
It literally like the movie it literally went from like being like, oh, this is going to be a Ridley Scott movie to this is a fucking Disney movie. Like this is this is not like cool at all. Nothing cool about this movie. But so I'm just like, okay, let's get the story rolling. But the problem is that I was so annoyed by all of those little creature dudes that I just like, can we just
Even the
hurry
ones
up?
that were hanging out with Tom Cruise.
That all of them.
So the Screwball and Brown Tom and
Yes.
Gump.
All of them.
Gump. You didn't like Gump.
No, I don't want. I don't want
And
that
then what
shit
was
happening for 90 minutes. I don't.
Una. You didn't like Una?
No, I don't know what
You
any
didn't
of their
like Una?
names are. They were all obnoxious. The only non-obnoxious people in
okay.
the movie were the devil and Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise was bordering on obnoxious.
Yeah,
But-
he was bordering on obnoxious. He
but-
really was bordering on obnoxious in that
And
movie.
the interesting thing is when the movie ended, I thought to myself two things. Number one, Tom Cruise didn't even need to be in this movie. Anybody could have played that role. And
Yes.
he just got cast to play it because it's like there's
Right.
nothing to that role. There's no real acting involved.
No, and again, that's the American version.
I've watched
Totally.
Here's the thing. As soon as I watched the movie, I started reading about people talking about, well, the extended version. And I went and watched some of those scenes. It's the same movie, just longer. Like there's no just because a scene showing a forest lasts 30 seconds longer and there's a little more atmosphere, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still it's still what's the word I'm looking for? It's still there's not enough substance. The substance is all visual, nothing else. Like not acting, not storytelling. Everything is real. Like AI could have written the movie and these days, and the only thing that saved it for me was visually looking at it. I was like, oh, I love how like they made all of this stuff. Like you can tell it's all you can tell it's all and all the instead of having like puppets, they actually have prosthetics on the actors. And I was like, all that shit's fucking cool as hell.
Right.
That they did that because I wish that they would do that more.
Me too.
But everything else about the movie, all the way through to the end, I'm just like, well, the story is real. Like, there's not really much of a story to it at all. And then it's like, of course, the girl gets captured, and then there has to be an obligatory dance scene in the fucking movie because that's what everybody did at that point.
That was awesome.
So I was
That was awesome.
I was pretty annoyed because I wanted this to be a movie that had more substance to it,
Okay.
and it didn't.
Okay.
Even like everything leading up, like even like, oh, there's going to be like a battle at the end. No, it's bumbling fucking troll dudes. And it's like a little bit of a battle with Tom Cruise, but like not really much. So it's like it was very disappointing because I didn't even really like the music. The
Right. I thought the
direction
music
wasn't
was
even
actually
really that great. Well, I'm sure like if I saw the version that had the Jerry Goldsmith score, I would have been even less impressed. Because
well, I think okay. Well, I know I finally have it, so I'm going to watch it now. But I mean, I
think that the director's cut has the Jerry Goldsmith.
it does, yeah,
music.
restored to yeah.
But I think my problem is that all of the things on face value of this movie really made me go, oh, I think I might have been missing out on something, but I wasn't missing out on anything. It was the kind of movie I thought it was, which is a kind of movie that I don't like. So it's like it was disappointing because I wanted more. I wanted it to be more. I do like the fact that it like I know it's weird how some of the editing is done, but the fact that it gets in and out of there in an hour and a half, I was just like, if this movie was done today, it would be 3 hours long, and it would be the same movie. But this one, I'm all like, you only need an hour and a half to tell this story. You could probably tell an hour 15, but yeah, and I also thought to myself because the movie, like obviously, as you know, wasn't successful when it came out. I started thinking to myself, oh man, like imagine a world where Tom Cruise didn't already have Top Gun coming out.
Oh, okay.
Because like when Legend came out, Top Gun was already done and ready to come out, and it came out like a few months after Legend. If he hadn't landed Top Gun and Legend had come out and he didn't have anything that was like a big deal that came out soon after, I don't know if we would be talking about Tom Cruise in the same respect that we are today.
Okay.
I think his career would have just gone whoop, and he would have just been one of those other actors like a Kevin Bacon. Like, people know who Kevin Bacon is, but he's not like superstar of cinema Kevin Bacon. Like, he's just Kevin Bacon. He's an actor that's in movies.
Well, how do you feel about Val Kilmer? Because he was in Willow, and Willow was a flop, and then he had a successful career, correct? Would
But
you
he was
do you put Val Kilmer in the same?
Val Kilmer is not a Tom Cruise. Val Kilmer is the
Okay,
same.
what separates Tom Cruise from? I'm asking, what separates Tom Cruise from Kevin Bacon?
Top Gun.
No, why are his Kevin Bacon has certainly been in an amazing amount of movies that people absolutely adore.
So that's true. That's just the
And
first name I thought of. But
I know, I
but-
get it. I just
But
but I-
Tom, so here's the thing: Tom Cruise
okay,
makes Top Gun, which is a cultural, a pop cultural, big fucking thing,
okay,
massively popular, and skyrockets him. He immediately uses that to start making actual good films that he acts in. Because like immediately he's in Color of Money, which is that Scorsese or is that not Scorsese? Who's the other? Who's that other? Who's
I don't know.
The Godfather director? Is that
Coppola.
I think it's one of those directors' movies. and then soon after that, like he does like Rain Man and like, but he gets to a point where he uses his leverage of this massive. He's a movie star, but he starts making this shift and showing that he is like this incredible actor, but at the same time he can pivot and then do a little action movie, and he's the action guy again, and he's a movie star again. Whereas like Kevin Bacon was in Footloose. It was a very big moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
But what movies was Kevin Bacon in the next 5 years after that?
I don't know. He's been in every movie, right? That's why seven Degrees of Kevin Bacon, correct? That's
why he's been in a lot of movies.
That's why it's him, right?
Like,
and not somebody else, because it's
But I don't think
or 6 degrees or whatever they call it.
But his talent. I don't think Kevin Bacon is as talented of a person as Tom Cruise. They're talented in different ways. But I feel like Top Gun was the catalyst that allowed Tom Cruise to take that step. You have to have a movie. You can't. You think
that this movie would have hurt his career had he not had a successful movie after this?
I feel like he would have had a very different career.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why you like what's your trajectory on this?
Yeah, because because it's weird to think about that. If he didn't have Top Gun, I don't know if he would have been offered The Color of Money or Rain Man. Like I don't know where his career would have gone. So it's really interesting to like watch this movie of like this young Tom Cruise,
right?
And like you can't tell from watching this movie that he's going to have any kind of impact in the world of movies. And since then he has in like a huge way.
What's interesting is I've never really seen him talk about this movie. Whereas you see the other people talk about this movie, like the people who were involved in it, who did the makeup or built the sets, or even Mia Sara, who apparently quit movies voluntarily.
Oh, I thought she still randomly did stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't. She didn't really pursue it hardcore. Like, did you see Life of Chuck?
No, but I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's got a random dance scene in it, so you're not going to like it.
But is it a random dance scene in the middle of a forest with some elves and a unicorn?
Well, they took that out. They took that one out.
Yeah.
They took that dance scene out. I saw the storyboards with the original audio, and there is a full. That's the one that burned down the movie set.
Oh, there was an actual dance with all.
Yes,
of the...
that scene where Tom Cruise is sleeping by the fire, and then he meets Gump for the first time, and all those woodland creatures show up to him at the campfire. That scene is much longer, and apparently there's a full song that was written for it that Gump plays, and that they all sing in, and they had been filming it all day and using this gas fire underneath the Tom Cruise had that
on
fire,
the set.
and on the set, in that giant 007 fucking massive soundstage.
Yeah.
It was massive. I think it was the biggest soundstage in Europe at that time.
Yeah.
And they literally built that forest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they fucking built that for us. Like it's super weird when you see the track shots of it. You can see all the lights hanging in it that they then put things in front of so the camera can't see the lights, but
Yeah.
like it makes it look like the sun at some point. I mean, that
And,
forest is
and I
massive.
and I read that this was an early what would later be known as CGI. That's how they added a lot of like the gold dust looking stuff. It was actually computer animation.
That was really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, because a lot of people are covered in glitter, and even Tom Cruise cries glitter at
Yeah.
one point, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, they were filming that thing, and apparently the gas fumes accumulated in the ceiling, and something up there blew it up, and it roiled across the top of that entire thing, caught the whole thing on fire. Of course, the entire set is made out of styrofoam,
Yeah.
so it just went up, and then that was it. If you
Yeah.
ask me, I think they did it on purpose for an insurance scam because the people in the music industry are not separate from the mafia, but that's a whole other story. That's just something I was thinking about because they had a large budget that was going over budget, and I don't think anyone thought that this movie was going in the direction that it was supposed to be going.
Oh,
And so I
okay.
think someone just caught it on fire, but not a big deal. I don't know that. I wasn't there. So just something to throw out there. But anyway, so yes, Legend.
So at the end of the day, like this already isn't a movie I'm going to be into because this is not. I don't
Okay.
like these movies.
Well, you said you like Dark Crystal, and I thought, well, she might have you may have liked this movie.
Which Dark Crystal was. Some of the dogs are mad at each other. They get mad at each other.
Wow,
Sometimes.
this is really happening. I'm not watching this happening. I'm recording this with you right now, and I'm hearing your dogs right now having an issue. This is so cool. I watch way too much of your stuff, and this is really weird to watch you.
Special guest
where I
appearance
see-
from my dogs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, from your dog. Okay, go ahead.
So what was it going to say?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I haven't seen Dark Crystal when I was a kid, but I don't remember it being. I remember it being actually a dark and moody movie that just had Jim Henson creations in it. Same thing with Labyrinth. Labyrinth has a little bit of humor in it and a little bit of that fantasy, stuff that you would come to expect. But the way that movie is done, it's got much more of a vibe and a style to it, to where it's not just constant giggling trolls all the movie.
Well, I think you need to watch that movie again because
Labyrinth?
Hoggle is a little woodland thing.
Hoggle is an asshole. He is not a giggling troll. He is an asshole.
He plays to that thing still, and so
He's an
and
asshole.
there's lots of little fairies. Of course, they do bite people or whatever.
See?
And then all the goblins are those little bitty weird goblins. The only
But they're
one
not
that's-
obnoxious. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What are you
That-
talking about?
I've seen Labyrinth like probably
obnoxious.
20 to 30 times in my life.
Okay, well, so am I. It's one of my favorite movies.
I know the movie very well. It
Okay.
it doesn't veer far enough into that world that it doesn't appeal to me.
Sir Didymus. They're all tiny. They're all literally puppets. And
Yeah,
so
but
they're
that's not the
little
point. It
puppets
has
are-
nothing to do with them being tiny. It has nothing to do with them being puppets or prosthetics. It's the characters. There's too many characters who are on it in Legend, like way too many. And I wanted somebody to be like, who's leading this? But it's not Tom Cruise. But anyway, so. But once
Well,
again, this is also from watching this movie one time. Like
Sure.
this is just what was in my brain, and I was just like, I wanted all those characters to go away because I was just like, I'm more interested in Tom Cruise's quest to go find this woman who already was an asshole anyway. But he's going to look for her anyway because he's horny, and then and the devil. Who I've obviously got to give props to Tim Curry because I didn't know who Tim Curry played in this movie.
Oh, okay.
And halfway through the movie, I had to go look and go, is that Tim Curry? Because it's transformative, his performance.
Yes.
It does, because he doesn't ham it up. I mean, it is, I guess, a little bit hammy, but not in like a Frankenfurter kind of way.
Well, he doesn't look like Frankenfurter,
but
so he's
also
in his devil costume.
But also he it seems menacing in the movie in a very theatrical way.
Yes.
But I was so just like, that's Tim Curry. Like I
Yeah.
thought I was going to recognize him right off the bat, and I was like, that's insane. And so he's great in the movie. And
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic.
so the positives are some of the some of the visuals in the movie were really cool. The Tim Curry was great. I like Tom Cruise, but it was cool to watch young Tom Cruise and anything.
Sure. Sure.
And I didn't hate the music. I just there's all the other scores I know of that Tangerine Dream did are like miles ahead of this one.
That's because I didn't have very much time to write that stuff because
Oh yeah,
after the screening and then the re-edit, I think that the whoever distributed the movie in the
MCA.
United States wanted there to be a more rock-oriented soundtrack for the teens.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's even a sticker on here.
Oh, look at that. MCA Legend. That's nice. That's a good copy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a real nice copy.
But
Yeah.
I have to admit though, the 80s-ness of it all and me choosing to watch it on VHS added enjoyment to me because it was
Sure.
like it did come across as a relic, and I was like,
Yes.
this is kind of fun. But I wanted to like it more as the point I was trying to make. It was
Okay.
there were things about it that made me go, I feel like I would like this more if these were the kind of movies I normally liked. Because I mean, even when there's less sort of obnoxious characters, like I had to sit through the first Lord of the Rings movie, and I was going to kill myself. It was just it was a real task for me. Harry Potter movies, don't like those either. It's just there's a style of movie that just it hits me like a brick wall. Like I'm just not built to take in that kind of thing in an enjoyable way. It's just
Right.
it's like all of it to me feels like being invited to a school play and you don't know anyone that's in it. You're just watching some random person's school play. There's nobody you can root for because you don't know any of the people in it, and it's all just very like, oh my god, this is so bad, and why am I here? But that's how I feel about like most fantasy movies.
Okay.
There's exceptions, obviously, but with Legend, like I was really like, man, I feel like it could have been a much better movie. And like, yeah, I went and like watched videos and I watched some deleted scenes and what I mostly saw was extended scenes, whereas like
Right.
they really
a lot of that.
allowed the movie to breathe a little more, which I guess
Yep. Yep.
in a filmmaker's eye or whatever, that's a good thing. But
Yep.
for me, it just makes the movie longer, and I'm just like, well, it doesn't need to be any longer than it is. It's fine. I like the pace of just like it kept
Okay.
going, and I like it when a movie is tightly edited and utilizes overlap because movies don't do that enough anymore. Like Legend did this; they did this cool thing. Whoever edited the movie, who edited this movie, doesn't say. They're not important enough to be on the box.
Oh, okay.
But I love it when movies, you can tell movies are keeping things rolling because there is dialogue from a previous scene being played while the next scene is starting, or vice versa.
Sure. Yeah. No. Totally. That's a good. Yeah. I like that technique too.
Because like, because for me, I'm just like, just keep the story moving. I don't, it's like, especially in a movie like this, you don't need to stop and to enjoy the scenery because it's literally everywhere in every scene of the movie. Like every scene of the movie has something cool to look at in it visually.
Yes. Yes.
To the set, to
his
the costumes.
castle is so great. His lair, whatever,
Yeah.
the thing where darkness lives is that fireplace is amazing. The statues inside, the weirdness of those little statues that come alive at that one point, like when the dance itself is dressing, the dress itself is dancing with no
Yes.
person in it. I like the backwards running of the film so that the smoke goes into the fire instead of out of the fire.
yeah,
I mean, they fucked with. I liked his nails at one point were glowing green and his eyes would come on. It'd be a dark scene, and his eyes would just open, and you knew who he was there. And then by the time he reveals himself like fully in like full color is when he comes out of that mirror, with all that fucking glitter shit coming, all that gold stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that they revealed that character very nice, and he is definitely like. I mean, as far as like a protagonist is concerned, if you don't have a good protagonist, I mean, I don't really feel like the movie is very worth watching.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather see a more like Jupiter Rising, for instance, which was fine. It was I don't know how to say those people's name who did Matrix. Wachowskis,
Oh, the Wachowski or
Wachowskis. Yeah, they're now Wachowski sisters, I guess. They were the Wachowski brothers. But they did that movie, and like that Alec Redman, what's his name? Redman? Do you
I
know
never
what I'm
saw
talking
the
about?
movie, but I heard of that movie.
Yeah, he's just such a bad protagonist. So it's like it ruins the movie.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when Kung Fu Panda, dude, fucking that snow leopard, what's his name? I can't even remember. He's like the greatest protagonist I've seen in a movie ever. I mean, he is just so complicated and amazing, and he's got element anyway. So I felt like there's this overdramatic teenager. Oh mother, oh father, tell me what I shall do and die. And he just wants all this power and all this stuff, but he's like very he thinks he's the shit, but he really isn't, and he's kind of pouty about it or whatever, and he just wants to destroy all the light because he can't be part of it or
Well,
whatever.
yeah.
And so I thought that was a very complicated character. And then here's the deal. The awesome thing about this is, number one, there's a big battle scene. You don't have a big battle scene, and you don't end up, spoiler alert, you don't end up killing the bad guy. You just set him back.
Yeah.
He turns into stars.
Yeah.
Like he and then his whole little thing at the end, you can't destroy me, you can't kill me, I am part of you, I am part of all of you. You can't have lightness without dark, and he's going down that thing.
Yeah.
And then they fucking kill him with light. Or they fucking send him back. They dismantle his mortal or immortal state, whatever he is congealed in to be this creature of the night.
Yeah.
They bam him up into molecules and spread him out into the darkness, and now he's shining as lights in the blackness of space. So it's like, and they do it by reflecting the sun from the top of the castle cave thing in those silver plates, which I thought was kind of it was a non-violent, non-weapon specific way to alleviate yourself of the evil that is set upon you, by just shedding light on it and all that.
Because I mean, if you're talking about good versus evil, being violent and killing something is not a good thing. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you should be defeating evil in a more creative and non-evil way.
Sure.
You can't.
Yeah.
He couldn't have taken the sword and chopped the devil in half.
Yeah,
because
he could use this sword, his own weapon, to kill him.
Yeah,
And he couldn't have jammed him with I think he does jam him with the horn at one point.
a
Right?
horn.
The
Yeah,
Alec-
it's a horn.
the
Yeah,
Alec horn. Yeah. So yeah.
yeah.
But and I think this is fascinating because I think about this a lot, like the fact that I like you and that we have a good time doing this and everything. But I mean, it's very challenging in certain ways because I feel like there's like literally things that are part of us that we identify with, that the other person literally cannot stand that thing more than anything. Do you know what I mean? Like this,
Sure.
like that you don't like these fantasy movies, and that I feel like this is very much something I identify with, and I understand that because when I grew up, there were very few people that were into like this whole Harry Potter thing, and that people like this stuff, like this whole
that wasn't a thing back then. Yeah.
it wasn't, right? I mean, you were like weird and all, and nerd was. We talked about this. Nerd was nerd, dude.
I was
nerd was nerd, right?
Even all the way up to the
Sure.
to the mid 90s.
Yes.
It was weird if you were into Star Wars.
Yes, totally. Yes,
Which
exactly.
I was. That's a thing. That's a
Yeah.
thing. That's a fantasy side of things. I was very much into those first three movies. Very much so.
Oh, of course. And I love the fact that Yoda was what Yoda was. which was a little whimsical creature, whatever. Anyway, so I guess
Not
I had
not
done.
annoying. Yoda was not
Well,
annoying.
no, he was not annoying. He
Even if
wasn't
he
in the very
cracked
beginning.
jokes, he's not annoying.
Okay, well, you found him unannoying.
Did other
You
people find
find
Yoda?
you no, I'm saying you find the other people annoying because what I'm trying to get at is this. It's like, okay, like when we watched Amelie or whatever, and you're like, yeah, man, the movie was great. I thought she was going to do the stuff, but then she goes and she falls in love with this fucking random guy, and then it just turns into this movie where she's in love with this random guy, and I'm like, Steven, you're missing the entire point. They were children in the same area using semaphore to each other. They've been circling one another for their entire lives until
Yeah.
they can finally meet. It's not a random dude. The point of this is that he's not a random dude. He's the one person that she's been circling that's going to break her isolation, and she's going to break his isolation. So it's like, okay, you've seen the movie one time, totally get it. I
Sure.
totally get it. You didn't pick up on that.
No.
Like its presentation in the movie was not something that you picked up on
But
because you were immediately annoyed by the way that Audrey Tattoo looked, and you just were not into it. So you pulled out, and you
I
didn't
wasn't
like
annoyed by
you
how she
didn't-
looked. I was annoyed
and you
by
did not
the
like
character.
accordions. I never want to hear an accordion again. And then you just pulled out of the movie, and the movie was supposed to be about. It was about some very deep and subtle things, and all the characters were isolated in a way and trying. And so then we watch Jesus Christ Superstar, and for some reason you come away from thinking that movie like Jesus is an asshole, which is like super fucking weird. Like in that movie, he's the opposite of an asshole. It's the only time I've ever seen him not depicted as an asshole. And then so I'm like, okay, well maybe Steve, okay, you saw that movie once, so it's no whatever. And then it's like, and now we're talking about like this woman is an asshole.
Yep.
This woman is an asshole. She's an asshole. And I'm like, no, she's 15. She's a princess. She's come
You-
from this place.
so-
She can't. She has got a lot. That whole darkness lightness thing, that
Sure.
innocence thing, the way that darkness thinks that she's innocent, and how people think what they people that little villager lady that she goes to be mischievous in their house, and
Yeah.
oh Lily, oh Miss Lily, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff, and then she falls in love with Jack, but yet he's like just some fucking. He's like a homeless dude who lives in the forest or whatever, and she is in love with him because he can speak the languages of the animals and do all this stuff. And she's like, it's a total break from her princess thing, which I think it was a bad idea to not show her life, to not show her stuffy
well-
life. They would have, so you would have known where she came from. But so then,
I think that
so
would have been
then-
too much exposition then at that
maybe,
point. Yeah.
but so then but she loves the guy as much as she can because she's 15, because she's self-centered or whatever, and so she doesn't have the perspective of nature and the seasons and the animals and all the stuff like Jack does or whatever, and so he finally is like, he knows he's not supposed to show these fucking unicorns to people. It's like a big deal that he even knows that the unicorns exist or whatever, and he's not supposed to do it, and he goes to put that blindfold on her because he's going to take her to where they are, and she said, oh Jack, don't you trust me? And he goes, uh-huh, and he puts it on anyway. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, no, I totally trust you, but this is a big deal. You don't understand. This is bigger than you. So he puts that thing on, they go, and then she takes it off. And then here they come, those fucking Andalusian fucking white horses with their manes and shit, and they're all singing like whales and rah, rah, and they're all like running down that fucking stream with the water splashing everywhere, and it's just like, holy shit. And she is just like zonked, like this is the most beautiful thing that she's ever seen, and she cannot help herself. She springs forward because she has to encounter it, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? And he's like, Lily, don't, Lily, you can't. And she goes up there, and that scene where she bows down to it, she goes down onto her knees, and it comes up, brr, 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 and she reaches her hand up like that, and it comes to put its nose in her hand. That moment is like fucking rad, man. And then that little Keith Richards looking fucking goblin puts that poison dart into it,
Yeah.
and then the clouds come. It's like it's the apple off the tree thing. You know what I mean? It's the one forbidden act. The one forbidden act is in so much shit. God, all this stuff is around, and God only wants you to not do one thing, and so you do it. And it's just like this human being able to possess, like, evil and good are that way because they have to be, but humans have a choice because we can make up our mind and we can do or one thing or the other or whatever. So there's this constant retelling of this story about like, what choices are you going to make?
Yeah.
Which part of you is going to spring out in like, in a reaction
It's
or,
the way it's like a retell. It's like a different way to tell about a stupid mistake that causes an
yes,
entire movie. Like, which is
yes,
a lot of great
yes,
movies are just
yes.
somebody does something stupid, and you know that it's stupid, and
Yep.
then it
And you're like, don't.
yeah.
And
It's fucking every horror movie ever made.
Every horror movie. Yeah, every fucking horror movie for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did
so
you
anyway,
have you reached your breaking point with me now? Is that what this is?
no. No, I think this is fascinating.
I think in some respects, I feel like you've watched enough of my stuff to know my sense of humor, and so when I'm calling people assholes and stuff like that, it's
Okay.
I'm being lighthearted about this because at the end of the
Okay.
day, this isn't a terrible movie. It's just
Okay.
It's just
You don't like it.
I don't like it, but I'm just being entertaining with my commentary on it.
No, fantastic.
Same thing with Amelie. Yeah. Amelie was like, I get the point of the movie. The presentation of the movie was not for me. That kind of movie does not have enough going for it to keep me entertained. And so when the story became, in my opinion, less interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
Because I don't need to see another love story as long as I live. Don't need to see another one. I'm sure I will see many more in my lifetime that I will enjoy, but those stories are not interesting to me for the most part. In fact, most movies that I love rarely have love interests in them. And if they do, it's like girl that's hanging out with Sylvester Stallone. He's going to bang her at about minute 45 in the movie, and then they're going to move on with the story. So, but I'm also fully aware that the movies that I love are not considered great movies.
I think they are considered great movies because they're considered popular. They're very popular.
Some of them are not. Some of the ones that I love are considered legitimately bad, and I just really enjoy them for what they are. And so it's sometimes that was cool with
I was gonna try to figure out what that was.
Sometimes the smallest of thing will take me out of a movie, but at the end of the day, that's not my fault.
You do what you do. What happens.
Because I go into all of these movies wanting to like these movies.
No, me too.
And I didn't hate this movie. I'm glad that I've seen this movie.
Right on.
I guess honestly, I think the only movie I 100% really liked was Living in Oblivion.
That movie's great.
Well, I also enjoyed Swimming with Sharks, but not in the same way. That's not a rewatchable movie to me. But Living in Oblivion is one where I'm like, I like this movie and I could rewatch it.
That I recommended?
Yeah.
Did I recommend Swimming with Sharks?
Not Swimming with Sharks. What's the name of that movie? Swimming to Cambodia.
Swimming to Cambodia.
Sorry.
Right.
Swimming to
Cambodia. No. I was just like, I don't even know if I've seen Swimming with Sharks, and I was like,
Swimming with Sharks. I think is that movie with.
And then I thought my reality was going to be punctured, and I was no longer going to understand, and I was going to be.
Part of your brain is gone. No, that's Swimming with Sharks is that movie with Frank Whaley and that actor that's been ostracized for being a sexual predator, Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
Kevin Spacey.
Okay, Kevin Spacey. Sure, Kevin Spacey. Okay.
Anyway, but Legend was like it. I liked the movie in not the same ways that I think other people liked the movie. Because the things that I didn't like about the movie are probably selling points to some people about the movie, as I can tell when I read through people's reviews. Because if you're somebody that this world, the fantasy side of things, like leaning really far into fantasy, because there's some fantasy that's like, okay, there's some sci-fi in here, or there's some action in here, but there's fantasy that's like way over here in the fantasy world.
Yep.
People that like that kind of thing, this movie is like one of the greatest things they've ever seen. like in
Okay.
all of their comments. And I'm like, I absolutely get that, because I feel the same way. There's other movies that I really love that some people would look at and go, well, that's not a very good movie. And I'd be like, I understand that.
Sure, sure,
But
sure.
it's in this world, and it has all of these things that I want done in a particular way. And
Okay.
so it's like, so Legend is like one of those movies that I look at it and I go, I absolutely understand this being somebody's favorite movie because
Okay.
because of the whole package of everything. The not just the makeup and the sets and the sound design and the music
Right.
and but also like it's like almost like the end of an era, because like I was
Totally. Totally.
because like
Yes.
the 80s fantasy movie pretty much ended here.
Well, and you know what? Wikipedia blames that movie.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just this movie, but there was plenty of flops. Labyrinth was a flop. Labyrinth was not successful.
Yeah, and Willow was not. It didn't make it. And
Is Willow
yeah.
good? Because I haven't seen Willow since I saw it in the theater.
You're not gonna like it.
But I have no problem with Warwick Davis.
There's also little people in it. And,
Are they obnoxious, or are they just little people?
I don't know at this point because I don't find any of them obnoxious. But you seem to have
It's not the little
a line
person
in the
thing.
sand. You have a line in the
it's
sand.
when
about
your
them.
characters are there as funny little dudes who are loud. It's just comic relief. It's like
I did really want to watch Under the Rainbow again though, because isn't that Billy Barton guy who played Screwball? He
I
is
did
in,
recognize him. I saw
Yeah.
Under the Rainbow many times when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was a good.
That's
Was
a
that
movie
Carrie
that-
Fisher? Was that Carrie Fisher?
And
that was Carrie Fisher and Chevy Chase,
Chevy
right?
Chase, yeah.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
That was a movie that I really liked when I was a kid. But all of the little people just play actual characters who are just little
Yeah.
people.
And after seeing Living in Oblivion, when what's his name? Peter
Dinklage.
when he goes on about why do I have to be a little person in this movie or whatever, like I've never been able to really see little people. Are we calling that correctly? That's what they're called now,
Little
correct?
people,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Little people.
little
Okay.
people.
I just want to be respectful. So
I think it depends
anyway.
on the person, because some people are okay with the term dwarf. But I think that's
Okay.
only for people who actually have dwarfism, because there's different types of little
Yes.
people who aren't
Yes.
considered dwarfs.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think even the word dwarf has been ruined. So who knows?
Sure.
So no
Dwarf
problem
is-
with any of the actors in this movie.
No.
I just don't. I'm trying to think of a good. I
But-
thought there's an example in my brain, if I can get it out, of like, this is not even related, but this is exactly what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Okay.
In the 90s,
Yes.
they made a theatrical version of Judge Dredd starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Not a great movie. But here's
Okay.
the thing. They made this movie and they're like, "Oh, it's a Judge Dredd movie. Here's the story of Judge Dredd." And then randomly, completely unnecessary, they're like, "You know what we need? We need Rob Schneider in the movie as the bumbling fool's sidekick." And you
Okay.
do that in a movie and I go, "Get the fuck out of here. Why do you have to do like unnecessary, completely unnecessary?" But I know
Okay.
it's because they look at the audience and they go, "Oh, well, the audience is going to want comic relief." And I'm like, we don't always need that. It's
Sure.
not.
Shaggy. You don't need Shaggy all the time.
No, you don't need Shaggy all the time. But I haven't watched enough Scooby Doo to know if Shaggy's annoying, but I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Well, you didn't need that little Martian guy on the Flintstones.
You didn't need Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy was even more annoying. Right? He kept going. He's doubling down on that.
I don't know, but like it really was like I'm being honest when I say it was an annoyance that those characters were just constantly loud and giggly and bumbling, and I'm just like, I understand their place in the movie, but I'm just like, I got tired of it real quick, and that
Sure.
kind of took me out.
But, yeah.
Everything else,
Okay.
I had everyone else was great. I mean, nobody was bad in the movie.
Sure.
Tom Cruise was just I'm a handsome dude, and then they lead him into that thing.
Here's
and
my
it's
nuts.
like, and they're like, there's a sword and there's a shirt. Where's the pants? You don't need any pants.
No, you
You
don't need any
just need
pants.
the shirt.
Yeah, you just need the shirts. Yeah, we just want to. Yeah, we want your little ankle high booties, and no, yeah, we want your thighs, your knees, and your calves.
All
be
I wanted was
exposed.
that at some point
Right.
somebody was just going to stab him in the thigh, and he'd be like, "Oh God damn it! I knew
Oh
we should have
God, I
put
wish I had
pants
the
on."
pants. Oh, why were there no pants? This is not fair. Right? Yeah.
But
Totally.
I also want to go on record that I don't by any means think this movie needs to be like violent and gritty. I don't think that that's what
No?
it needed to be. No,
No. No.
no, it wouldn't have made it better. I feel like the vibe of this movie would not have worked if all of a sudden there was like blood spurting everywhere or whatever. It would not have
Yeah,
worked.
that torture scene where they're hacking up that guy in front of the fire. That was out of nowhere.
That's close to the beginning of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, when they go down into the dungeon or whatever, and that guy is screaming and throwing
Yeah.
his body around, and they're like hacking
That
him
is
up or
that is
whatever.
pretty
Like that
rough
was.
compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is PG.
Yeah.
Right.
PG
yeah.
movies were very different though back in the day because
Yeah, well, the PG-13 had not been delineated yet, correct?
no, the first PG-13. Well, no, there was already PG-13. First PG-13 movie was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I believe, and that was
Wow.
1984.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, maybe they could hack up that guy and he could be screaming, but they didn't show any blood, so it was fine.
I just think that that we gave young people a little more credit back then. They were just like, you know,
Right, right. Or
But
we were
now
trying to race them into
everyone's-
adulthood.
because like if you think about it, back in the day, like not only were they a little bit more lenient with the rating system, but like all of the movies that I loved when I was a kid were intended for adults, but then they would sell toys to children.
Sure. No, it's a very weird marketing scheme.
Yeah.
And I also think it's very weird that like all those child actors immediately go into the dirtiest film that they could make or whatever just to break that stereotype or whatever. And then
Did
it's
you
like, oh,
did you
okay.
hear me talk about Out of Bounds, the Anthony Michael Hall movie?
Oh yeah.
It's so God. So that's a movie that if I showed it to you and you went, "Look, this movie's a piece of dog shit," I'd be like, "Dude, you are not wrong, but it is amazing."
Okay. No, true. I like it a lot. I really like this dog shit.
It's
awesome.
like
Yeah.
it's so yeah. Sometimes movies are bad to a point where I just go, I don't even consider this bad anymore. It's gone all the way to like
Sure. Yeah.
a work of art that couldn't have been done any other way than this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
awesome.
anyway, so
Okay.
that was Legend. I would give it
Yeah.
2 out of 5 stars.
Okay, that's very interesting because we're going to transition. 2 out of 5 stars. You literally said 2 out of 5 stars. We're going to transition to Clerks, and I'm going to let you know that Sequoia, my daughter, wrote a movie script with a friend, and I may have mentioned this before. And they had a read through. They've cast it. She got some video gear from her uncle, who is a videographer. He's teaching her about hard drives and scenes and sets and editing and da 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 da. And they had, and so and of course because some of the movies that you have recommended for me were not movies that I would have seen out of my natural impulse. I invite my family in to watch it as a family experience, and then when we have a great experience, then I feel, oh, okay, this is what's going on, and then I can just enjoy it as a cinema instead of something that I was boycotting or that I like had an attitude against, or because I want to try to get away from my bigotry. I mean, I should look at it. I mean, especially since I've realized, and this has been a big thing, that my visceral first reaction to something is sometimes it's just emotional based or whatever, and there's not a lot of rationality to it, and then I'll just form like these hyperbolic
Well,
I'll start gathering things together.
to
that,
be
like,
fair, I think a lot of the ways that you look at these things are perfectly normal and understandable. Like you have an aversion to like the 80s jingoistic action movie, and I understand that. In fact, I think that that's perfectly it's reasonable to look at a lot of those movies and go, well, fuck this. Why would I watch this? If that's the attitude of the movie,
Right. Like, okay, so Usually it's just the military ones. I do like a lot of action flicks, though, but we've talked about this. I tend to lean more into the science
But talking
fiction.
about like when we first talked about like First Blood and that kind of stuff, those are
Yeah, which I
movies
was
you wouldn't
surprised
have
that movie was really good.
because you wouldn't have gone towards those movies because there is an
Right.
aspect of it that's a little like go USA, bomb the brown people kind of.
Sure, but and you said that that was definitely the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it started to veer into that in the second one, which I was so pleasantly surprised that the first one did not. Do
It's
that.
still not pro America the way that the story is told.
Okay,
But there
sure,
is a
sure.
us versus them overseas kind of thing in that movie.
There's a slow motion get scene probably where he's like where there's probably a prison camp someplace and some
I don't think it's in
Vietnamese
slow
people
motion, but
oh no
it does happen.
oh no that's probably Chuck Norris and he comes up out of the water
Probably thinking of Missing in Action.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Chuck Norris, but
Oh man.
um,
Okay. Right. So yeah.
so anyway,
Him and
continue.
Lin-
This is fascinating. So your daughter
Okay.
is going to make a movie.
Yes. So, as part of the thing that I like to do, I say, "Hey, Sequoia, my next movie assignment is this movie called Clerks. It was an independent film. It caused a lot of excitement back in the day. It was kind of the answer to big studios. It was like this guy would just made this kind of character-driven, dialogue-driven movie. It was like $28,000 or whatever. I mean, you want to watch this thing just to see if you can, I don't know, pick up any tricks or if you like it at all or whatever. Just because it wasn't real actors, like it wasn't real actors. I'm
Yeah.
assuming it was they were on some level actors in that thing or whatever. And she's like, yeah, no, I would love to watch it. So we have watched movies. We had Sunday Fun Day, Dad Day, Movie Day, and that was I was Daddy daycare, and so I took care of her all day. And so there was a video store like a block and a half away from ours. So we would go to Dunkin' Donuts, and we would go to the movie store, and then we would come back here and we would watch a movie. We rent and watch a movie. So this is a tradition for us, as she's from her being very little.
Got it, yeah.
And so so she was very excited. And so we sat down to watch the movie, and I'm going to say, when the movie is over, Fandango asks you how many please rate this movie, and they have 5 stars or whatever. And there was silence, and I was waiting because I knew she was grinding at this movie like she fucking hated it.
No way.
And I'm like, oh, because I'm like, okay. And she goes, 2 stars.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, cool. It wasn't one, or none or whatever. I know
Oh,
she
before-
started. Okay, but anyway, that was that. So that was
before
our
we get-
transition into Clerks. Ladies
Before
and
we
gentlemen.
get there, that's great.
Okay, right on. Yeah.
So I've told that you've probably watched videos of me on the internet where I talk about this movie. So
you love it.
I'll just tell this story again.
Please.
So literally, this movie came out, and I'm probably watching MTV at my house, and there's a movie commercial.
Yes.
For a movie called Clerks.
Yes.
And I don't know anything about it because it's like obviously this is in the mid '90s was it '94?
94. 94.
And so I didn't read like movie magazine publication. I didn't know shit.
You were a kid. You were a kid.
I knew nothing about it. I was 16 at that time. So I saw the trailer and I go, well, that looks like a fun movie, and I like that it looks like low budget, so that it might be kind of cool.
Right.
So I went with a couple of my friends to see it, and it was the only, as far as I know, the only theater it showed in Austin was a theater underneath a dormitory building at UT Austin.
Sure, it was on campus.
It was on campus, but it was
Of course
there
it
was
was.
literally a tower,
Yep.
and then at the bottom of the tower is a little like mall area with a food court and a little theater called the Dolby Theater.
Perfect.
And
that's exactly where it
we
showed up
watched
a
it
lot.
on a screen that is as big as like normal, like in normal people's houses, their TV screen. That's how big the screen was. It was
Yeah.
pretty small.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I was used to that because anytime you went to the art house like that, sometimes you'd be stuck in a room and it'd be like a weird little screen that only had 20 seats in it.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we watched the movie, and all I know is that I left the movie feeling some sort of intense attachment to it.
Okay.
Like you go see movies and you're like, oh, this movie is a story about these two people, but they're like older, or they have jobs, or they're spies, whatever it is. It's all usually nothing that I would connect with.
Sure.
And as we've seen, as we've seen with some of the movies that I've recommended for you, when I connect with a movie when I'm younger, it becomes like a special movie for me. And Clerks was, I just felt like I knew these people that were in this movie, and it really felt like it was some kind of because it was such like a small theater. I was I felt like it was this like secret, like I know about this movie, and I know about that it's really funny. I laughed all the way through the movie. I thought it was great, and I ended up going to see it 2 more times. I took my older brother to see it, and then I took a few of my other friends to go see it.
Okay.
And every single time, like it was just a movie that like it really just spoke to me and not only in like a personal way, but also like I went through a brief period of time in my later high school years where I thought everybody thought they were going to make a movie. Me and one of my friends wrote a script. Everybody thought that. One of my best friends in high school, he and I actually.
I only realized yesterday that I'm never going to write a movie. I was like, I'm never going to do that. Right?
Well, my friend and I wrote an entire movie.
Oh, you did.
So this was when we were seniors in high school. So this is a couple years later. So this is post Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was like the catalyst that like every douchebag wanted to make a movie, including me. But no, so I even remember. So our movie was called Joyriding with Frank. And that's literally just a name we took. I think it's a Rollins band song. I don't know. But we literally wrote ourselves into a Pulp Fiction style movie.
Of course. Perfect.
And
great.
And it was a story about 2 teenagers who had been hired by mobsters to do hits for them because nobody was going to suspect us because we were just these slacker youths. They would not know that we were these hired killers.
Sure.
And I don't really remember much else about the script, but we wrote an entire
You don't
movie.
have a copy of it? You don't have a copy?
I don't even know if my friend has it. I'm unlike you. I'm not a very good friend. I don't know if you've noticed this about me.
What are you talking about?
I do not. I have no contact with any of my best friends from when I was younger. We just all completely fell off from each other. Mostly my fault, because like I told you it's a combination of severe anxiety and depression and agoraphobia, I guess, in a way. I guess as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that maybe I do have some kind of form of agoraphobia. I don't know. Anyway, so over the years, I'm friends with a couple of them on Facebook, but that literally just means they post a picture of them and their kid, and I click like. That's
sweet of you.
That's pretty much it. So
that's nice.
So I don't even know if he's a friend. He's not even on Facebook. I haven't spoken to him in years. So I don't know if he has the script anymore or not. But I feel like Clerks was like the catalyst of like first being like, well, you can just like make a movie and people are talking and it's
yeah.
So anyway,
great. Yeah.
So this movie for me, when I was in my 20s and I was a complete douchebag. This movie was the litmus test for girls. I was like, I'm meeting this, I'm hanging out with this girl, but I'm gonna show her Clerks and see if she likes it.
Right.
And funny enough, I never dated a girl that didn't like Clerks. They all thought it was funny, and I was just like, "Oh, cool." Because at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have dropped him anyway. I would have been like, "We'll still go out, but
right. We can't talk about movies."
But anyway, like Clerks is the soundtrack of Clerks is great. I'm really into that too. Like that's but like so this is a movie that like has stuck with me and has become one of not only my favorite movies of all time, but also a comfort movie because I know it so well, and it doesn't require a whole lot of thought or you're frozen. Am I frozen? Okay,
frozen.
No. Are you back?
You were frozen. I thought it was cool. I thought you were thinking, and it doesn't require a lot of. And I was waiting for your word, and
it was you frozen. It doesn't.
Okay.
You were frozen. It doesn't require.
I was frozen.
You were frozen.
Oh.
Either way, it doesn't require a lot of. I'm just kidding.
No, what? It doesn't.
I was freezing. I was getting my own
No, I
frozen.
know you did it again. I got what you were doing. It doesn't require a lot of. Let's just never finish this.
It doesn't require anything. It literally this does
No,
not
it
movie
doesn't.
doesn't require anything.
Sure, it requires nothing.
You don't even really need to pay attention to most of it. It doesn't even matter. Because it's not really about anything at the end of the day. It's barely a story, and it's just a bunch of dialogue.
Yes.
It's basically like a collection of sketches that make up
It
a
is
movie.
a collection of sketches. It totally is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
But it's just gotten this thing where not only is it a comfort movie, but like I'm very critical of things in my life, so I'm very happy to like revisit a movie or revisit an album and go, you know what? Not that great. Not as great as
Okay.
I thought it was. But
Sure.
Clerks is a movie that hasn't lost any of that for me, and I think
Okay,
it's
that's
probably because it's so tied to that time period. And
Okay.
I'm viewing it through I'm not viewing it through your daughter's eyes. I'm because like I can understand watching this
Right.
movie
Right.
as a young person now.
Right.
No, but
Right, right,
through the
right.
eyes of a 16-year-old boy in the 90s, that it resonates. It still sort of resonates because that's still who I am. I'm still a 16-year-old kid from the 90s. So anyway, that's why. And the only reason, like, you know, the reason, honestly, this is no, I guess this is the kind of movie I would recommend to you. But the big thing is literally just because we're going through like movies that are like my favorite movies, because I'm just like,
Sure.
well, I might as well just like toss them your way and just see what you think about them, because
Sure.
like I feel like most of what I like, you probably aren't going to like that much, or at least not like it in the way that I like it. So
Sure.
so it was really just like, well, I guess, you know, I already had you watch like Wayne's World and Juice and The Commitments and like these other movies that are like very important to me, but I'm like, this is the most like me movie, or
Okay.
me when I was a teenager and in my 20s.
Sure.
So anyway, it's a movie that I love and I've continued to love. And
Great.
so you did see it way back in the day, apparently.
Oh, yes, I did. And first of all, let's see. What I had been formulating something that I wanted to say based off of something that you had said earlier, because I, of course, agree with it, and I know that we don't apply we don't apply everything to this. We don't apply the same tools to the same project. As far as this is concerned, this is what's so fascinating. And the reason I do not like when you were like, oh, you've reached your breaking point, you're not going to hang out anymore. No, that's not what this is. In fact, I think a lot about this because it's like really what we're talking. And first of all, most of the music I've liked,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so it's like, okay, so and I did like the Commitments I liked, and the Juice I loved.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I think there's been some times when this is, I mean, all of them have been beneficial just because of this process.
Oh, I
You know what
agree.
mean?
I 100%
okay.
agree.
Okay. So I saw this movie in 1994 in a small art theater, up a flight of stairs and off to the side of a major theater in Lawrence, Kansas called Liberty Hall. There's a beautiful theater down. They had movies there, they had shows there, and then right next door was a video store. It had all the art movies that you'd need to see on VHS. It was a campus, college town campus video store.
Sure.
And everything that went in on this was like youth and, well, that's not true. Many of the presentations that were on and there were things that the art crowd and the campus crowd and the cinema people and all that, you know, because we're in Kansas, there's not a lot of that around. And I apologize to everybody else in Kansas who did have that in their place, but my place was Lawrence and this wasn't the place.
Yeah.
So I had heard a lot about this movie. I mean, everybody fucking loved this movie. Like everybody fucking loved this movie. And to be quite honest, I saw the shit that the Butthole Surfers made on VHS. I'm like, great, this is awesome. It's arty, it's like independent, it's whatever that even meant back in the day. Like everyone kind of had this feeling like, okay, the fucking movie scene is cranking out these fucking like basically military propaganda, whatever, all this shit about American culture and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, nobody cared. And so we were looking for smaller voices that were going to say something to us that we were actually thinking.
Sure.
And I feel like, so like Slacker, for instance, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, is like very much like this movie, and that is a series of sketches and
Yeah.
conversation where they're not real actors. Correct. It's delivered in a rough way. It maybe someone with a personality or a characteristic or something is somehow good on film, and so you're able to watch him. And whatever the talk was that they were having was enough to make your brain think. And so you're like,
Yeah.
okay, great. So
Plus, Clerks would not exist without Slacker.
you don't think?
No,
Oh yeah, no, I saw that at the end of the movie. He thanked Richard
he,
Linklater, and there were several directors that he thanked
Spike
at the
Lee,
Spike Lee. Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
yeah, but
There's one more.
but
And
his
Spike Lee's another guy. Spike Lee's another guy that I don't like that. What was that first movie that he made that was
she's
so
got to
good?
have it.
I'm Panty Man and all that. Yeah, like that was just fucking.
Yeah, she's got
Yeah,
to have
she's
it.
got to
Was
have.
she's got to have it was super low budget and black and white also.
Yes, yes,
But
yes, yes. And I mean, to a certain extent, Rocky, dude. I mean,
well,
if you really want to, it was a black and white movie. It was just about characters and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, keep going. I'm sorry. You were going to say something?
no, I was going to say that Kevin Smith has said many times that he went to an art theater and saw Slacker, and that's the movie that made him go, "Oh, I could make a movie." And so
Okay.
he
Okay.
said that his career started because he saw Slacker.
Okay. Well, great. I was very excited to see it. Everyone thought it was hilarious. I went to go see the movie. I thought it was. I left. I didn't say anything throughout the whole movie. I was there with a group of friends, and I think the consensus was when we all left the theater that that movie was a giant piece of shit.
Oh,
And I was,
interesting.
and yeah, and then
You're
and
all
then I
so
was
they're
like,
all your age, so 26 or so.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna tell you what my initial reaction to this was, and this is why I've forgotten about the movie and I've never come back to the movie. This is what I mean about having an irrational feeling that's based on emotion that doesn't. So I saw that movie, and I came out of that movie, and I was very angry at it because it was absolutely a waste of my time because there was nothing in that movie that was said or depicted that I thought was, I don't care about the Jersey and the da 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 and the da da da. And I realized, like, when we listened to the Afghan Wigs record, I was like, well, I think he's being a dickhead so you can show that it's a real kind of person, and this is the dickhead, and you don't have to like him, you get to hate him
Yeah.
because that was the point. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe these is just a bunch of jack-offs who are in this store or whatever, and I'm not supposed to actually like them or whatever. But then I'm like, well, what am I doing listening to them just talk about stuff that I don't care about at all? Which is like, I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, yeah.
There were two, and again, I am a clerk.
Yeah.
I am a clerk.
Yeah.
That is what my whole life has been. Other than the music stuff that I played, I was retail all the way. And so that whole sitting at your job while your boss isn't there, taking care of customers with some is the word acerbic other person that you're working there with is just ba 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 about a bunch of junk, and sometimes it's you who's doing that.
Yeah.
And you gotta, like, you make up jokes with one another and da 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 da, and it's all, and you're thinking about writing a movie when you're behind a counter for fucking 6 or 8 hours a day or whatever. And I understand all this stuff. It was very, but I was like, man, dude, I am I was so violently mad at the just the fucking, like, just the, it was, I just like, I okay, so this is then, so not so I this is 94, so
Sure.
I decided that I fucking hated Kevin Smith, and I refused to see anything that he had his a name attached to. So I have not seen anything that he had his name attached to until I was at with dating this woman, and we were back at her hometown, and her cousins were to visit, and they'd been living in California, and they really liked Chasing Amy.
Yep.
And so we watched some scenes from Chasing Amy. I will admit to you that I was like, okay, like I just didn't see the whole thing. We ended up leaving before the movie was over or whatever,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
didn't hate it or whatever. But like, there's literally there is a man that is married to a friend of Jessica's that looks exactly like Kevin Smith, and I do not like him because he looks like Kevin Smith, and he drives this car, this brand of car that I now associate with my least favorite car on the road. Like I don't know what it is about that whole just they're like everyone don't try not to suck some dicks on the way to the dinner, and you're like all that stuff that they were like suck a pole motherfucker I need to like I was like who fucking cares, like this whole attitude is not anything that I want to spend. And like I normally watch the movies that you give to me, I watch them several times
Yeah.
to try to like really come up with something positive or whatever. I
Well, you,
watched this movie once,
well,
and
you did,
am like, I'm not gonna sit through this movie again because
nah,
it really
you
made me
don't.
mad.
You're not going
So,
to get anything else from it watching it again.
no, okay. So, but I think the fact that if Sequoia would have like keyed into something, I would have locked onto that, and then
Yeah.
that would have made my further research in a very positive realm, and I would have been able to address this feeling I have about this movie
Sure.
in a rational way, and I could have released these feelings of negativity that I have around it. But like I'm watching that movie, man, and like first of all, bravo, the two ladies that are written into that movie are actually good characters.
Yes.
You can say what you want to about the girlfriend or whatever, but when she finally shows up and she's like, dude, I'm not going to marry this guy. I'm at fucking school. I want to have a fucking
Yeah.
career. You think I want to just get fucking married and all?
It's very clear that the men in the movie are dumbasses,
They're dumbasses.
and the women are not.
Yeah, and his girlfriend at the time,
yeah.
what's her name? The one he was dating at the time?
Uh, uh, Veronica.
Veronica. I thought she was great. That scene where he's painting her nails is great.
Yeah.
You know, and all that stuff. Like, I liked that scene. I was really pleasantly surprised that the female characters in this movie were not written as like, me. Like, so, but
Yeah.
then the fact that he fucking has her fuck a dead guy in the fucking bathroom, which is the most unbelievable and stupid, weird necrophilic rape scene I've ever seen in a fucking movie. Like I'm just like she's traumatized in a fucking ambulance.
You're
like,
literally
like,
you're so that right there is like I feel like that's humor not connecting with you because it's like
it's
adding
not funny. It's
you're
not
adding
funny.
you're adding weight to a scene that is intended to be stupid.
I know, but we're talking about this fucking guy who jacks off in a bathroom and dies with a boner, and she just hops on him in the dark and fucks a corpse. I mean,
everything you're saying is fucking hilarious.
No, it's not
the
hilarious.
best line
She
in the
is
whole
in an
movie.
ambulance.
My favorite line in the whole movie.
Though. I know you're gonna get to say it, but she's literally in an ambulance, trembling under a blanket.
I know.
Someone says that's gonna take a lifetime of therapy, and I'm like, why would Kevin Smith write this scene for her?
It's dark comedy. It's not supposed. It's not like they're. It's not like the Bad News Bears or something. It's not supposed to be like.
No, the Bad News Bears was awesome. Have you actually seen that movie? Because there's a lot of darkness in that. Okay,
I'm just trying to say, like, it's not supposed to be. You're not. It's not. Some of it's not laugh out loud in like a hardy har kind of way. It's not that kind of humor. None of the movie is that kind of humor.
Right, and I would argue that it's not humor at all. I mean, I'm just saying. Like that whole thing is not. I don't find any of it funny. And I mean, the conversation where he's like, "Oh, hey, don't you think those contract workers on the Death Star that they really needed to die?" And then that roofer guy comes in and goes, "Hey, I can tell you that, as a roofer, I take jobs that that I align with or whatever. I wouldn't take a job wherever." And I think that I like that conversation. And then I like the conversation where he's like, "What you'll tell me," like where his description does not dictate his action.
Yes.
Like, so when he hates customers out loud, was it Russell? His name Russell. Right? His friend's name was Russell. Randall. What was his name? The guy Randall. Okay, Randall. When they were having that conversation, and he was like, he basically tells the customer to fuck off or whatever, and he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just trying to say that what is it? What does he say?
Title does not dictate behavior.
It does not dictate behavior." Okay, I thought that was interesting, but like. And then that whole scene at the end where he's like, "Hey man, you're trying to blame everybody else for all this stuff and blah blah blah. You should take a look at yourself." Like that was a decent scene.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. I felt like I don't know. There was just something about that movie that it was like if we're gonna please challenge me. please challenge my mind. Like make it so challenging like
Apparently,
that.
you were challenged, and you were because I don't understand how. I mean, I understand like not liking the movie is one way or another. I
Okay.
understand that,
Right.
but like not understanding the humor behind because like it's not. I don't know. It's really hard to explain because like in other context,
Yes.
some of the things that those people say in that movie would be
Yes.
considered awful.
Yes.
In the context of the movie, you're not supposed to. Well, I feel like you're not supposed to really like the characters, and that's part of the
Okay.
humor of the movie.
Okay. Okay.
And also
Okay. Okay. Agreed.
situations that are ridiculous. And I don't. One of the like a joke that in theory in real life would not be funny is one of the funniest lines in the entire movie.
Okay. And now, what was the line?
He says, Dante says, there's a stranger in the bathroom and he just raped Caitlin. And then Randall goes, she said she did all the work. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That is so funny. And it is in real life, that's not funny. But
No,
like,
it's not
but that's the thing about like dark humor. It's not funny like I'm slipping on a banana peel. It's not that kind of humor. That's not
Okay.
it's not humor that it's not funny in a, oh, it was funny that she fucked a dead guy. It was like, that's the least joke part about the entire scene.
Right.
It's literally the dialogue and everything happening around it, the reactions to
Okay.
everything happening around it. Because the actual idea is that's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that like that's the kind of thing that has never happened in the history of the world. I don't know. I'd have to Google that. Has there ever
Okay.
been a guy that died with a boner and it just stayed there? But
Angelwood. Angelwood.
is that what it's called?
Well, that's what they called it in 6 Feet Under.
Oh wow, 6 Feet Under, great show.
Yeah, great show.
so-
Got a boner when you're dead.
So, like, I think probably the difference is because when you were talking about seeing this movie and you were 26, I immediately started thinking about, well, what was different about our lives? And the difference between there's many differences between our lives, but I think a big one for us is that you grew up, you ended up, as we talked about, I think on the last episode that we did, you found the punk rock scene and you found meaningful stuff. And to me and the characters in that movie are all a product of hopelessness and
Okay.
being uninspired by everything around you, and now you're in
Totally.
your 20s and now you're working in a convenience store. Honestly, if you take the characters, their situation, their outlook on life, if you literally just wrote the facts of that movie down, it is a sad movie. It is
right.
not funny.
Sure.
Taking that aspect of it and presenting it the way that it did with these ridiculous characters, a lot of which honestly talked just like people that I know. I knew people that talked
Totally.
exactly like all those people.
Yeah. Same.
And
same,
so
same.
the humor, I've never looked at it as like a straight up, it's a funny movie and it's intended to be funny, but it's not funny in the same way as like, I said Bad News Bears. That's a bad example. Like Police Academy. Police Academy, you can literally look at it and be like, these are jokes. These are all supposed to be jokes.
Right.
This is funny. This is lighthearted.
Right.
This is funny.
Right.
The humor in Clerks is not that kind of humor. It's
Okay.
the kind of humor that some people will go see it and be highly offended at this movie. But the intent of the movie isn't to offend somebody. It's the same same thing with like middle-aged parents in the 80s who decided they were going to listen to rap music and they felt highly offended. I'm like, this is not for you. It's not speaking to you. You're getting offended at nothing because it has nothing to do with you. This is not you. So I think with Clerks, that's why it's a niche movie for a particular type of person at a particular time in their life.
Okay.
And it just so happened that I was one of those people that was known as a slacker, that was uninspired, that had no direction in their lives. And to be fair, I didn't until I was well into my 30s. It's depressing. If you ever get to
Yeah, I
see,
still don't have it.
you're never going to watch Clerks 2, but Clerks 2 is this. Clerks 2 builds onto that where there's literally sad parts in the movie. It's
Okay.
like it builds upon the hopelessness of like, imagine being the kind of person that has no ambition, no dreams, is just stuck in a town, and they work, and it feels like there's no way out, and this is your life.
Okay.
And then Clerks 2, hey, it's that, only now you're in your 30s.
Okay.
And then Clerks 3, there's 3 Clerks movies. The third Clerks movie, I have not cried that much in a movie, I think,
Oh, really?
ever. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because it builds on this thing. It's still funny. There's still this crude humor to it, and these conversations that seem pointless and are sometimes about mundane shit. But it speaks to me because it's all presented in this way of like these people that are like, yeah, like I mean, like when you like I've never honestly, this is why I love doing this so much, because
Sure.
I've never really looked at Clerks this way, and now I'm just like,
Right.
you are not wrong. These are sad people. This is,
Right.
and it's not a movie about like people to look up to. But it's the same thing where like people like they're fucking huge fans of the movie American Psycho and treat the guy in the movie like he's a fucking hero, and I'm just like, are you watching the same movie I'm
Really?
watching? Yeah.
Wow, really?
But
They think he's a hero.
So I think, well,
Wow.
it's like like Scarface. Scarface
Oh,
is
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah,
Scarface
yeah,
is not a hero, but
Right.
people will like
Right,
hold him
right.
up like Scarface, so
Right,
fucking
yeah.
cool.
So, yeah,
There
so fucking
there
cool,
are
right.
people that you hear talk about Clerks, and they will talk about how cool Randall is, and I'm like, are you sure about that? like
Right,
that. So I
right,
think that's probably the thing about it is that it's such a funny movie to me, but
Okay.
on paper, take the obvious trying to be funny parts out of it,
Sure.
and it's not.
Sure.
Which is why I think it made some kind of sense that originally in the movie Dante gets killed at the end of the movie, because it's the ultimate just like end of the movie, he gets murdered.
Totally.
So
Yeah. And again, was my favorite part of the movie, and I have no idea how I saw this. I swear to God, dude. This is
I'm
like
curious. I would be curious to know if a print that was circulating, because clearly they had to make a print that got shown at the Sundance Film Festival.
Sure.
So if they made that print, could they have done other screenings at small theaters in certain? Because you said yourself, wasn't your town like they?
Oh well, Topeka, yeah, no, we got Pop Rocks and we got Sam's Club and stuff before. They try shit out, and if the Topekans will eat it or buy it, then they're like, oh, okay, that's it. So
maybe they did that.
dude, I don't know.
Excuse me.
I am so perplexed by this. Like I am calling people. I'm calling people and saying, "Hey man, did we see that Clerks movie together?" And like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't remember. Yeah, no, because everybody knows the Liberty Hall from Lawrence, and everybody knows that art theater that was off to the side, which had
Yeah.
a smaller screen and just a few seats and the whole thing like that. And so it's like, and I'm trying to figure out. There's this dude who worked there. I'm trying to find out his name. He he was like literally, I think he was the projectionist, and I'm trying to find out his fucking name from people that I've been trying to get a hold of, because I'm like, I want to get a hold of this guy and go, hey man, this is Mark from Lawrence. Like, dude, what the fuck? Because like, I swear to you, I never, like, you were like, hey man, maybe you saw the thing when it came out in the DVD or whatever. You have to understand something. This movie, I hated it so much.
But you
I
had
would
friends that
never-
were into Kevin Smith and showed you parts of Chasing Amy, so they could have shown you.
No, I know that it was just Chasing Amy. I know that because I know where we were, how it happened, and I can't remember the scene, but whatever. So, but
Yeah,
the deal is this:
yeah.
I literally fucking when I was like, wait, like I thought, okay, he's gonna die at the end, and I'm gonna see how that shocks Sequoia. It's almost like that scene in the Terminator where you find out in Terminator 2 where he's actually good and the other guy's actually the bad guy. You're like, go,
Yeah.
what? Or in the Fight Club when you find out he's the same guy, you're like, wait, what? And then the whole, you know what I mean? Like when he dies at the
Another
end.
movie where people treat a character like they're a hero, and I'm like, they're not.
Yeah, not right fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything because basically I she went from watching it to going in her room and getting this little craft project and then coming out and doing the craft project. And so I was like, okay, she's pulling out of this movie. She's not digging it.
Yeah.
And so and
It
as a
probably also
father,
it probably also doesn't help that I think within the first 10 minutes of the movie they say some really vile shit that nowadays would never even be in a movie.
well, yeah, and I mean, I feel like you suck 37 dicks or
Even
whatever, and
even
then
prior to that.
what is that?
There's that whole scene with Jay where he's like, "Fucking faggots, I hate guys."
Oh yeah, right, yeah, and well, whatever. So she's an artist in queer culture, and this just to me, this is okay. This is it. To me, I was sensitive to that stuff in 1994. Boom, don't care. And
Yeah.
so when I watch her go, yeah, I don't care. She's got no attachment to it at all, and so I think that's kind of what happened. But I forgot where I was going with this now.
Also,
Doesn't matter.
I brought my tape of this one too.
Oh, nice, nice. So listen, I would like to say that I go and I watch. Oh, we were talking about the ending. So I'm like, he doesn't fucking die? Like, what the fuck is that ending?
It's
I'm super mad. I'm super mad. And so I go online. I'm like, is that version of this movie where he dies? And everyone's like, alternate ending, alternate ending. So I'm reading all these articles and like, this is how it showed. And everyone was pissed at Kevin Smith for that. And they said it was really bad. And then he literally, because when I saw him die.
To be fair, everyone wasn't pissed at him because nobody knew that that's how it ended except for a small amount of people at the time.
Well, yeah, but the producer, the distributor, the test audience,
they all,
when they
so the studio is who suggested he cut the ending.
and the actor, correct? Dante
What do you mean?
himself, the guy who played Dante, did he himself reject this ending?
I think I saw an interview where he said he didn't think it fit the tone of the movie, and honestly, it doesn't really. But
no, it is the fucking it makes the movie it makes it real because he complains the whole time about not supposed to be there, and then when he dies, it's
He's
like,
not
oh
there.
shit, he gets killed. I mean,
now not
so
there.
he gets killed on a day he's not even supposed to be there, whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, so and so this is why I never understood how there was a Clerks 2 and a Clerk 3, and I never saw him because I don't know any. I thought he
But
died.
to be fair,
movie.
even when I first saw this movie in the theater, even then that ending was awkward. I was like, why does it end so abruptly? And then it wasn't for years. Maybe a couple years later, because I remember the Laserdisc of Clerks came out, and my brother had a Laserdisc player.
Whoa!
And
the laser disc.
And laser discs were the first things that had audio commentaries on them.
Oh, okay.
And so on the Clerks DVD or a Laserdisc is the first time I think that the ending is on the Laserdisc, and then they talk about the ending in the commentary. But yeah, before that, I was always just like, it oddly ends very abruptly. Like, why does it do that? And then you learn why, because they just chopped the entire ending in the movie off.
Okay, so listen, I've watched Kevin Smith, his whole hockey jersey, trench coat, and the whole thing. I just was never. I never. It was not appealing to me, and it was because I didn't like this movie. But honestly, I sat down and I listened to a couple of things of him being interviewed. And he seems like a nice guy.
He's a great.
He seems like
somebody
really
that I
nice
look
guy.
up to.
Sure.
And so my whole
okay.
shtick online is completely influenced by him.
Okay.
Because he started in the early 2000s. He did one of the first like big podcasts that ever came out.
Okay.
And the thing that he was always a person that was like, I just want to share the things that I love. I don't want to talk about the things that I hate because I don't have time for that. And I always really liked that about him because I'm just like, so when I started doing shit, I was like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be a guy that like my whole thing is like, let me tell you about the 10 worst movies in the world. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to do that. So, but as a person, he's super, not influential, inspiring to me.
Okay.
Just because of where he came from and his whole attitude to it, and him creating his own little universe of characters through his first handful of movies. Like, pretty cool story overall. About
Yeah,
him.
no. So, right. So I would like to say that that part is happening for me. And I feel like there's a documentary that about Clerks or about where it's him that
There's
right, he's being
you can probably
interviewed.
find it on YouTube. If I
Yeah,
find it,
I met
I'll send it to you because it's a really interesting story about the movie getting made and everything.
yeah, I mean, and so for those aspects alone, I remembered very much that I enjoy the fact when people write character driven, dialogue driven, independent films that can be filmed and for on a low budget and whatever. I do like all of that. So everything about Clerks, I should have actually really loved that movie. So I guess in a weird
Excuse me.
way, it's the opposite of that fantasy movie. Everything about that movie is not something I'm going to like. Everything. So I guess I thought everything about this movie I was going to like, but then it just ended up being these. I don't know. And I maybe I wouldn't have felt this way if I didn't watch it with Sequoia 2 or whatever. But I was thinking like, ugh, So
Sometimes I think that's a good way to watch things. Because it gives you like two perspectives at the same time, because you are witnessing you are witnessing it as yourself, but it
Right.
is kind of cool to see a movie and you're consciously thinking about what somebody else is thinking about the movie.
Right.
Something
Right.
kind of interesting about that, a duality
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
also,
Oh, nice, nice. Right.
I had to
I
wear
want
my
to fuck berserker.
I had to wear my Berserker shirt.
Yeah.
The song
I've seen you
Berserker
wear that shirt before.
is on the soundtrack.
That is your go-to. That's your shirt.
My
that you're
avatar,
wearing.
essentially.
Your avatar, right? Your avatar's wearing that shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
right on. So anyway, I thank you for giving me an opportunity to see Clerks again.
Sure. I don't. The weird thing is, I
Yeah.
don't even know where to go from here. Because honestly, like, this kind of movie is an anomaly, because none of the other movies I'm gonna suggest to you that are my favorites are anything like this.
Sure.
Like,
sure, right.
I'm not I'm not a raunchy comedy fan, or even, yeah, like the movies that I would be leaning towards if like another one of my favorite movies that I think you've already seen is RoboCop.
Yeah. In fact,
Which-
yes, Sequoia was like getting on the elliptical, and she's like, "What should I watch?" I'm like, "RoboCop,"
Yeah.
because she said because of Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh.
The other day she was like, "Oh, what shall I watch?" I said Buckaroo Banzai, and so she watched Buckaroo Banzai, and I said, "Dude, we watched that movie during COVID." She said, "I don't remember anything about that movie." I said, "Dude, I totally made you watch that movie during COVID because
But that is a
that's
movie
one of-
that you could immediately forget, because there's so much that happens in that
right,
movie.
right.
Speaking
But
of
I
a
love
movie that
movie.
doesn't explain shit, I love the fact that movie
Yeah.
is just like, nope,
Just-
don't worry
Nope,
about it.
We're coming in cold. Here we go. Bam.
Yeah.
You got to catch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was almost like Star Wars. Star Wars
That
comes
movie
in totally
would be
cold.
that movie's like a fantasy style movie, but that movie, like, I
Yeah.
loved every minute of that movie.
Yeah, that
To
movie
be
was
fair,
good. So
John Lithgow was kind of annoying in that movie.
but he was big at least.
Has nothing to do with them being little people.
I'm sorry. I'm just making okay.
It was
So,
the stereotype that the little people have to be comic relief.
Right,
I just didn't
right.
didn't articulaate it very well. I'm not very good at that kind of thing.
No,
which
it's
is
okay.
why
You
I
did
don't
great.
write movies or lyrics
Other
most of the
than-
time, because I don't like writing
Okay.
those either.
So then she was like, "Oh, well, what's the movies that I watched?" I said, "Well, you've seen is Peter Weller, right? No, what's
Peter Weller. Yep.
Peter Weller. Yeah. I said, you just saw Buckaroo Banzai, so now you got to see RoboCop. But you got to watch, So she watched that. And I'm going to recommend Naked Lunch to her, even though that movie is way the fuck out there. Have you
Yeah.
seen that movie?
Not in a
Yeah.
long time, but that is one. That was one of those movies. I remember when I was a teenager, there was a thing on, was it on Cinemax, where they would show the avant-garde movies, and there was
Yep.
like a
Okay.
you knew that this was an art movie because it
Sure.
had like the Cinemax art movie, and
Right.
so I watched it just because of that, because I'm all like, oh, that means this is going to be weird as fuck,
Yeah.
and it was.
It was. No, that movie's weird as fuck, right?
Yeah.
That movie's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like that she's onto him now. You know what I mean? So that would be that. But you were asking me about what movie?
Oh no, no, it was
I've seen?
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Because I was
love
just saying,
RoboCop.
like
Love RoboCop.
like a movie like Clerks is not. I'm trying to think of other movies like it, and there aren't other movies like it that
No.
are my favorites.
No, no, I can't. I mean, yeah, My Dinner with Andre, or like, I mean, there's a ton of these things.
No,
like,
I mean like movies that are like my favorites.
no, I totally get it, but
Yeah.
there are other like low budget, character driven, dialogue driven movies that
Fucking
are
Living in
popular.
Oblivion.
Living in Oblivion is fucking awesome,
Yeah.
and I mean that even that Waking Life, the other one by
Oh,
Linklater, was
Linklater.
really good.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I
think he's just
I just remember Waking Life started that thing where I because of that movie, I always in my dreams try to go find a light switch.
Light switch and turn it off.
Yeah.
Dude, me too. But sometimes sometimes, and you know what I think we do now? Try to use our phones. Have you ever tried to use your phone in a dream?
I do it all the
won't
time,
work.
and it will never work. I know.
It
I
never
always
works.
have to contact my wife, and I can't.
Yeah.
So there's two things that happen in my nightmares. One,
Right.
I have to contact my wife, and I can't because the typing won't work on my phone. And number
Yeah.
two, I have to find a bathroom, and I can't find a
Yeah,
bathroom.
same. And do you ever wake up and have to piss then in the middle of the
Yes.
night, and that's why you were having that? That's totally
Yes.
what. And the older you get, the
I've
worse
gotten
that
so
gets,
good
boy.
at those dreams now that as soon as that starts
okay.
happening in the dream, I go, "Wake up, dude! You got to go to the
Dude,
bathroom."
Me too. Because I don't know if yeah, dude, totally. But I'll have these crazy dreams and everything. But then I never pee in my dream.
No, neither do I.
Okay, because when I was a kid, I went to bed way too late I mean, I'd been done wetting the bed for years, and I had a dream where I was Sad Sack. He was a comic book character, Sad Sack, and I remember I was looking at Stockard Channing, who was at one of those doors that could open at the top or the bottom, and the bottom of the door was closed, and Stockard Channing was leaning up against the thing, and I'm standing there as a full cartoon Sad Sack person, and I'm in front of a toilet trying to pee, and she's going, "You can go ahead and pee. You can pee." That's what she's saying to me. Do you know who Stockard Channing is, by the way?
Yes, and if she says,
She goes, "You can go ahead and pee." And I was like, "Okay." And I peed, and I woke up because I peed. And so
That's the
I've got it in
worst.
my brain that if you actually pee in your dream, which by the way, wet dreams were another thing too. Or if I dreamed that
I never had
pee-
those.
Oh my God, I fucking all the time. They
No.
were just I'm like, oh.
I feel like I missed out on some big thing of my
Oh,
adolescence.
man.
I never had that.
Never.
No, not once.
Congratulations. Okay. This was a problem. Like, I was like, oh, Jesus. So, but anyway, so the other night,
Oh, yep.
I had a dream
Oh,
about having to pee, and I peed, but I didn't pee. I don't know what that means. Am I through with a certain stage of
it
life
means
or
it
something?
means that you've unlocked
Yeah.
another part of your brain.
Brain,
The
right?
part
Exactly.
that allows you to pee
That
without
allows you to
peeing.
pee in your dream. Yeah, pee without peeing, baby.
I'm
That's
not going to
nice.
try to unlock that part of my brain. I'm just
No,
going to get
man,
up.
it could be very dangerous.
I'm sure
Could
it's
be
going to
very
get. I'm
dangerous.
sure I'm going to be able to test it as I get older. But yeah,
Oh man, dude, I'm on another pill now. God damn. And I got a colonoscopy coming up. What the fuck? Like this whole thing is just nuts.
colonoscopies are. I had a colonoscopy a couple years ago, and I was surprised at how fucking simple it was and easy.
Well, how was the drink shit the night before?
That was gross, but here's the key. So you drink the shit however much you're supposed to do, but make sure you go to the store and buy toilet wet wipes.
Oh,
Because what you don't want to be doing is continuously wiping yourself with toilet paper because it will
like
be
blowing
painful.
your nose too much. It gets
Yes.
chapped.
So what you got to
Okay.
do is you
Okay.
got to make sure you're using those, because then it's like you're going to have to be prepared to be going to the bathroom several times throughout the whole night, because that's just what's going to happen. But
And then
gotta,
you can't eat.
can't eat either. But I had mine scheduled for like really early in the morning. So I
Okay.
literally was like, I'm not going to sleep well. I already know I'm not going to sleep well. But like, yeah, those wipes are a lifesaver because that takes care of like part of the bad shit is like having to wipe so much.
Okay, well,
But the
okay.
actual, have you had a colonoscopy before?
No.
Okay, so that I don't know if they do it this way everywhere, but I'm assuming they do. They don't put you to sleep. They give you like a twilight drug of some sort.
Okay.
But all I remember was feeling kind of in a daze, but feeling very aware of what was going on. And they wheeled me into this room and they put me on my side. And I was just looking at a TV and I got to watch the camera go into me. And I was like,
oh, I don't want to see that.
But here's the thing.
I don't
Here's
wanna
the thing.
see that.
Here's the thing. In my brain, whatever that fucking drug is,
Right.
I did not even know they were doing it.
You didn't know they were doing it.
You could not feel a fucking thing. And so I was able to watch and go, wow, that's really interesting. And then I hear the guy go, all right, we're done. I'm like, wait, what? And I'm still kind of loopy, so I'm just like, that was fucking cool, dude.
Can you do it again? I'm like, are you sure you're done?
And I'm not a guy. I don't like the butt stuff. Unfortunately,
Right, okay.
I wish that I could because I would like to be open sexually in every way possible. But I don't. I've never liked it. So it's not like I have a lot of experience with things in my butt.
Sure.
So from somebody like me who is very
butt averse,
unadventurous in the butt region.
In the butt region,
It was not uncomfortable at all. It was literally just like that was interesting. That was it.
I think they knock your ass out here because Jessica just had one not too long ago, and she was like, oh, and then she was out, and she woke up and she was done. And I had a lot of people talking about how that part has just been super, super easy, that everyone's terrified of the night before.
Oh no! Honestly, if you're just prepared to have diarrhea and just make sure that you're comfortable, it's not a big deal at all. Actually, the worst part about the entire process is how bad the drink tastes. That's it. That's the worst part.
Really?
Yeah.
It tastes real bad.
It tastes bad.
They haven't come up with a bubblegum flavor or a black cherry or something.
Well, they didn't offer that to me. They got
regular,
whatever it was, licking wet wood or some shit. I don't know.
It's nasty.
It was gross. It wasn't like gag me nasty, but it was like,
because that's what I'm scared of.
I would definitely not drink this normally. Anyway.
Well, there we go.
Well, there you go, folks. Don't forget to go get your colonoscopies because it's very important. Get your shit checked. Check your balls regularly for testicular cancers.
Right. Sure.
Go to your cardiologist. I went to a cardiologist just to see, and the guy was like, "You're awesome," and I was like, "Thanks, man."
Congratulations! I had my some sort of protein checked, and I'm also good. My cholesterol's good. All my stuff comes back in the green. But I'm gonna tell you what. I don't think this colonoscopy is going to come up with some very good results. I think it's not going to be good. So, I don't know. I'm 58 years old. Something's got to happen. I got to have a major something
or it
happen.
Doesn't.
Okay, well,
you could end up being like George Burns, like smoking cigars until you're 101 and then pass away, dude.
Okay. All right.
We don't. Yeah, let's be positive. I'm positive vibes.
Okay,
everyone out there on the Summum Bonum, give Smirl positive vibes.
Okay. Thank you.
Everything's going to be great.
Okay, fantastic. I really appreciate it. And I think this is cool because we're a couple of old guys talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's
blood pressure, cholesterol,
the only thing that's bad for me is my cholesterol, which is not high. It's just considered elevated.
Okay, so you're not on a statin.
Nope.
Okay, congratulations.
I'm not on anything except for anxiety medication.
Okay. We've talked about this.
Which I feel like I sometimes need more. But, we'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there. So, yeah, okay. Do they monkey with that mix quite a bit? They do, right? They try to get it right for you?
Yeah.
And then it wears off or it changes and then they got to do something different. Isn't that, it's a thing, right?
Yeah, I think that, I've been taking the same thing for 5 years now, I think. Mm-hmm. And the same dose, and it's not a high dose. I mean, it's not the lowest dose you can take, but it's like not the highest either. So I think it's just a matter of like they'll try hard. I don't know. Who knows? This is boring. Nobody cares about this.
Okay, nobody cares. In fact, nobody cared about Legend So hopefully they made
That
it
is
through
not true. I think you're gonna see in the comments people saying that Old Head is an idiot because Legend is a fantastic movie.
Oh, I don't know.
And then
Okay,
you'll have
right
everybody
on.
else saying,
Yelling at me because of
Smurl is
Clerks.
right. Clerks is a
Yeah.
piece of shit, and
No,
Kevin
no, they're
Smith
gonna be like,
sucks.
what's up with that dickhead? I didn't like him to begin with, and now I really don't like him. I think it's really where we're going
To
with
be
this thing.
fair,
Oh, okay.
Kevin Smith hatred is a normal thing in the movie community. Like it's a lot of people don't like him.
Did he do any movies that were not in his universe?
Yes, he
What?
did. He did one of my favorite modern horror movies. It is called Tusk. Maybe that should be the next movie.
Oh, okay. That's about the. I think I know what you're talking about. I mean, that's that guy, that one comedian guy. Isn't he a comedian guy? The actor that's the main actor in that
Oh, the
movie.
young guy.
Yeah, the young
Yeah,
guy. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does funny movies. He's like known for. Is he a
This is
Saturday Night
not
Live
this is not a
person?
funny movie.
No, I'm assuming it's not funny.
He's not funny in it.
No. Oh, okay.
He's
He's
supposed to
not.
be. He's supposed to be like a guy that wants to be funny because he's a podcaster
Right.
in the movie.
Sure, sure,
But
sure, sure.
that movie. That's one of those movies that like I'm not like a huge horror fan
Sure.
when it comes to like modern day horror.
Sure, sure.
It has to be at this point. It just has to be weird. Like if it's weird, then I'll be like, okay, I'm cool. I'm into this because
Sure.
your
Okay.
average horror movie. Because like, what was it? One was the one that you told me you saw Obsession, but
Yeah, yeah. That was terrifying.
Eddie told me to watch Back Rooms because
I saw that too. I talked about that too.
he
Back
told
when
me that
shoot,
he
it's
thinks
so-
I
it's
would
super-
like that movie because it's not normal. It's
No, it's not normal.
and if it's
And-
like if it's kind of an oddity in the horror world, I probably will enjoy it.
Well, do you know anything about it? Because I knew
About
nothing
Backrooms?
about Backrooms. I knew
No.
nothing,
No,
not
I just
one
saw.
thing.
I just
Never,
watched the trailer one time. That was it.
same, and I was like, oh, this looks really weird, and I like that guy because he was in Life of Chuck. He was
Yeah.
one of the main characters, and I loved his performance in that. So now when I see his face, I want to go see stuff that he's in.
And I think
because
it's got the girl from Shrinking in it, doesn't it? Is that her?
Yes, she's in there. And then did you?
Speaking of that, speaking of horror that I like, have you watched Widow's Bay?
Is that the one with the guy who's in Shrinking? What's his name?
No, Widow's Bay. It's a show on Apple TV.
Oh no, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm highly recommending this show.
Okay, Widow's Bay. Sure,
It
Widow's
is
Bay. Okay.
the best show I've seen this year.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It is a horror
many
comedy,
Okay.
but it's almost like a horror. People compare it to Twin Peaks in its tone.
Okay. Okay.
It is fantastic.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
So anyway,
Okay.
I'm gonna get
Yes.
out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here too. This is nice. If we got out of here, oh shoot! If we got out of here by 8, it was only going to be 2 hours, but it's 8:20.
But
So
I think
this is good though.
I
It's under
think
3
our
hours.
fans out there don't want us to do shorter shows. I think if we went
Okay,
below
and you know
two
what?
hours, it would be kind of disappointing.
Right, but yeah. Hey, I like your shorts, by the way. Good job. Keep those up. And I would like to say congratulations
Oh,
to the shorts that you're putting up there with the
Yeah,
album
I just-
in the
I-
slot
I-
or whatever. That's very nice.
I've been trying to have a presence on TikTok.
Okay.
Just
okay.
just for the hell of it, and I've been trying to, and I started to do videos for that, and because I'm actually putting the time in to make them, I decided to also upload them to YouTube as
Great.
shorts.
I can't see the TikToks because I don't have it, but I can see the ones on YouTube. So good job. And I wanted to say congratulations to your wife on the master's program. You mentioned that the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very excited for her. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Did it just start this semester or whatever?
She started
because it's summer, so
but she's been doing a boot camp because there's credits that she needs in order to get into the master's program she's going into.
Yes,
So that
yes,
she's doing
yes.
this like boot camp thing right now.
Okay.
Where it's kind of like a crash course of all the things that she needs to tick off in order to
shit.
get to the master's program.
Wow.
And she's
this sounds
constant-
like an intensive,
But she
This
loves
sounds
it.
very
She loves it, and she's constantly already like literally. She's like, "All right, I'm caught up for the next 3 weeks of assignments." Like she's just done with them.
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's
She's
great.
way
And
too
I like-
smart to be with me. I don't know why but
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh, well, you know what? I'm way too dumb for Jessica, but for some reason I'm charming, so she keeps me around,
We're
and I do a
lucky
lot
dudes.
of dishes.
It's
Yeah, we are
it's
lucky dudes.
exactly like Clerks,
Ah,
where
there we go.
we
Yeah,
don't we don't appreciate the women we get to be with, but we're lucky enough that they give
Yeah.
us their time.
And one other thing, congratulations or not congratulations, but I hear Houston is in a big to do because they murdered that dude, and I'm like, whoa, that's intense, man. I've been following this, and it's like, God damn, dude, how many of these are gonna happen? I mean, I do not think
Probably
that
several more, because
this is
how many more years
I'm
of this presidency do we have to go through?
oh my God. Dude. And then I would like to say that right now in Chicago, for anyone who gives a shit, is we are in the purple as far as our air quality is concerned. We are in hazardous because it is it is smoke outside. Like you walk outside and you are in
What's the smoke
smoke.
coming from?
I think Canada's on fire again, and it's just blowing straight down onto
Jesus Christ,
Chicago. It is on fire, dude, and it is so I can't. Those poor people in Canada. What the
We've
fuck
got
is
all of this
happening?
fucking shit's happening, and these dumbass motherfuckers are worried about trans people in bathrooms. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know it's so.
Give me a fucking break. Anyway, hi.
Okay. Good night. Love you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Summum,
Good
Bonum,
night.
signing out. Have a good rest of your month, and then we'll see you again. I don't even know. Well, we're gonna do
It's
albums
music,
next
music,
time.
music, music. And
All
I
right.
already sent you mine, and you already sent me yours, but I haven't got it yet.
It's supposed to get there Monday or Tuesday, or earlier.
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as it gets here. We're gonna let anybody know. We're not gonna let anybody know.
Nah,
We'll
not
just
yet.
do it. Okay, right
We'll
on.
see you
Love
guys
bye.
then.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.